What's up, guys? I'm Weston Richie, and to my left is Thor.
Real name is Chris Hinckley, but I go by Thor too. That's fine.
Let the hair down, Toasty. No, he's got a hat on.
That's a
but
whole
anyway,
thing.
best friend, business partner. We literally, just want to live the best life we can live and do what we love doing. And that's kind of where we're at 15 years later. So we're in the podcast room. We got an amazing guest. I really want to tap into his story, but just his aura when he walks in a room, he fills the room up. Not only with his swaggy clothes, but his big ass smile. And you know what? He's fit.
His big ass shoulders too.
He's fit. There's not a lot of many people in the entrepreneur space that got it all.
Appreciate it.
There's just not. So like when he walked in the room, we were like, I don't know who he is, but I'm gonna go talk to him. So Reggie, how we doing today, bro?
My guys, I appreciate that intro. We need to get him a round of applause for that, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Editors get the clap.
yeah. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, the first time meeting you, both of you guys, I mean, y'all felt our energy. It was A1 from the beginning. Like we was talking to each other, like we known each other 6 months to a year. And those are rare moments because we all spoke to different people at the Jet Hangar event.
Yeah.
And can't say it was the same with every person, right? But with you guys, yeah, man, that discernment kicked in and I was right. So I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
I rock with
sir.
y'all solid.
That means everything to us, man. And because like we meet a lot of people. I'm sure just like you, because you travel all the time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that genuine connection because you get in front of people and all they do is want to talk about themselves, right? This is what I do and name drop this and do that. But it's nice when you get to talk to somebody who's well kept, fit, successful, and actually can carry a conversation that has meaning behind it. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
And I think that's why we align so much.
The truth behind that, dude, is like we don't even really know what you do.
Yeah.
We about to learn it.
We
That's
gotta
what I'm
learn
saying.
today.
But that's because you ask questions. You really checked in more on like life and swagger and what it wasn't about you. And like we went to the jet hangar and found out you donated a bunch of shoes, right?
Yeah.
So like, bro, I mean, there's so many different lanes of what we can talk about, but like let's start from the beginning a bit. Like, bro, what made you you right now? Like, what was those pains and struggles, bro, growing up? Or when did that click for you where you became who you are?
Well, before we get on me, I got to give you guys y'all flowers. I got to give it back because it's important. First of all, I appreciate you guys saying, yeah, he in shape, da-da-da. But my guy has did a marathon. It's no way possible that I could get to that level. So, hey, that is lit. And you told me a lot about your story, man. And you guys come from places of genuineness. And like we always talk about, struggle and hardship is what brings great people. And so as far as my story, I grew up in a really rough environment where you had two options, CEO or kingpin. It's one or the other, right? And I always had the entrepreneur spirit. At least that's what my mom says. Always had the leadership spirit as well. That can go either way. So, just coming up in a rough environment, mom was unfortunately, on drugs. She loved me a lot, but those demons kind of like haunted her for a while, and it kind of separated us because we were so close. As we know, when you love someone so much, like when it hurts, it really hurts, right? So again, we can go deep into that story, but from that to that type of pain has always been a driving factor for me. And it's been different areas in my life. It wasn't just my mom. Some things happened with my father, also in business. And that my number one thing that I like to do is share my scars, because I can't identify with people, as you guys said, that just keep telling me all the good stuff. Bro, stop lying to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if a person come to me and just keep telling me everything they have, I immediately know they're insecure and they hiding something. And I don't got to get to know you to know what you're hiding. I don't care what you're hiding, but I'm not going to respect you because, I've come across people that are some of the greatest people that are janitors. And I come across some of the greatest people that are worth close to $1 billion. And one thing they both have in common, they don't talk about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So once I hear people doing that, it's just like, see through you, my boy. Yeah.
It's easy, right? That discernment. You learn over time by getting burned, right? And that's why people get closed off, I think. But he lives with his heart open on his sleeve. And that's something I look up to him for because I'm much more reserved. I mean, he'll tell you I'm very reserved with, where I put my trust, where I put my energy. But he gives it to him first because, like, he's got a big heart. And it's hard to do that when you get burned so many times. I mean, you could probably speak on that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, and I recently, probably last year, is just, if God gave me this heart, why change it? If somebody's gonna use it, abuse it, and cheat on it or take from it, maybe I'm supposed to go through that lesson.
Yeah.
But at least I'm not changing or jumping back down to someone else's level.
Yeah.
If that's who I truly am. If that's not me, then don't pretend something I am. But if I know for a fact, if I have a big heart, it comes with big emotions. It comes with that expectation, right? Because Chris moves very here, and that's what I love about him. He calms me the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, he knows me. Like, I'll be freaking out for a second. He's like, just talk to me for a second. Or we'll work through a bunch of different ideas, and then I can kind of come back, right? So I'm able to watch him, the way he moves, and take the knowledge, the patience, the kindness, and then apply it into my chaos. And then I also give him chaos, because sometimes you need chaos, and you need pressure points to break in order to rebuild or to expand. If you don't, you're not going to go where you need to go.
Facts.
And so, like, that's kind of the dynamic we have, is it's yin and yang on, he watches my back. We have an analogy we like to say is like, I like to be the Navy SEAL on the ground that's going through doors. Chris is in my earpiece being sniper. Go left, go right, watch out, do this. And I don't have to stress because he has my back. And having a friendship like that, or a brother like we've talked about, it's so rare, but it's like, man, if you can combine those together, that's a big wall.
It's dangerous.
That's huge. That's huge because a quote that I live by is relationship is more valuable than money, because, and you guys have that. I have it with people, right? Certain people, but you guys have it in business. That, to me, that's almost as rare, because we know the scripture. The love of money is what is the root of all evil. That's what causes so many different things. And I'm sure you guys work with money together. So you guys having that bond, I think, is outstanding. And I know people may tell you guys this all the time, that you guys have something special, but coming from a person like myself, where I've been on both sides of the fence, is why I don't have any partners, zero, right? So I understand what it's like to not have that type of person. So you guys, that's awesome. And I also like what you just said, how you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're more even keel, because somebody asked me like, oh, what sign are you? Da, da, da. I'd be like, bro, I don't fucking know. I'm fucking all the signs. Yeah. I'm all of them. I don't know.
I'm Reg.
Yeah, like, I don't know which sign I am. I might be a Scorpio, then I might be a Cancer next week. I don't know. So I like the fact that you're even keel, because I see that in myself. And then you wear your heart on your sleeve. As I told you guys downstairs, I'm similar as well. Hey, bro, this me, right? I don't carry a representative for nobody, right? I know how to change faces. If I'm around, the family, a certain type of family, I know how to move a certain way. If I'm in, a billionaire meeting, when I'm the brokest in the room, I know how to move a certain way, or whatever. I know how to change faces. I'm not Allen Iverson. I'm going to change faces, right? I'm not going to stay the same. Sorry, AI. But with the people that I like, it's like, you know what? They say, I just be me, bro. I don't know no other way. You know what I'm saying?
It's the only way to be.
It's the only way.
I was driving the other day and I was like, man, would you rather be liked by all or loved by few? And I had to think about that the other day.
You be with the quotes too. I got you.
It hit me because I'm like, man, you're either majorly loved or you're majorly hated. There's really no in between.
There's no in between.
If you're really truly yourself, like you walk and talk the way you do, you either attract the people that love you, or you attract the people that, or you literally, you have the other side of the people that just hate you. There's no in between, to be honest. You know what I mean? Or you're just liked by everybody, but you're a chameleon by everybody.
Y'all seen that post I said the other day?
Which one? What did it say?
If you're not like me, you're not gonna like me.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Say it again.
If you're not like me, meaning spiritually, mentally, whatever,
right,
then you're not gonna like me, meaning in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The middle people, you're not gonna like me, bro, because I'm gonna say things. If you ask me my opinion, I'm not gonna take the politician role. I'm going to tell you, I could be 100% wrong, but I'd rather you respect me for being wrong than love me for saying what is easy on your ears.
Well, I think like
that's him.
Yeah, like people are so stuck on right and wrong. Like there's just opinions, and that's okay. And people get really like fired up about opinions for some reason these days. Like the fact that you might believe this is red and I think it's orange just drives people crazy, when like at the end of the day, he might have color blindness and not fucking know, right?
Well, dude, I have that conversation with a lot of people lately, and like I used to be very much like there's a right and wrong way. I used to, and then I'm like, I started telling people when they get frustrated, I'm like, imagine you live on an island with 15 people. Do you still think the same? Imagine growing up in an island where you're just isolated by specific things. Like you wouldn't look at the same way relationships. You wouldn't look about communicating with people the same way. Like life would be completely different, but society and parents and generations have taught you that X is Y.
Yep.
And so it's like you kind of have to step back and go, wait a minute, what is really real anymore?
Yep.
What is right or wrong? Obviously, you can go back to the Bible or faith-based for sure. You know what I mean? But I just feel like you grew up in a different world. I grew up in a different world. You grew up in a different world.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you right or wrong based on your childhood? I don't know why you feel the way you do. I don't know why you do the things you do. But I guarantee you, if I was able to go live in your shoes, I would understand it.
Right. I want to speak to that. That was a really good point, because certain people I communicate with, they can't necessarily take what I'm about to say, right?
Give me an example.
I'm gonna give you an example. As I said, whenever I make content, right, I say my life. However, I may say it a certain way, right, or it might be smooth, it might be hard hitting, whatever. But I say my life. And what I said the other day was, I think trying to be right is narcissistic. Why are you always trying to be right? Because as you just said, your right might be right for you, but it might not be necessarily right. And there are certain things that's right and wrong.
Right.
Don't steal, right? Don't commit adultery, things like that. That's right and wrong. But I'm just saying. So this is the controversial statement. In the West, in America, I believe in Jesus Christ, bro. That's my way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't never died before, so I'm not about that. And I can't put no heaven or hell. I can't put you in a heaven or a hell, Mr. Buddhist man, or the Jew, or whoever. So I'm not about to try to make my situation so right, because at that point, God becomes divisive at that point, right? When somebody is constantly trying to be right. Jesus is the only way, and if you don't accept it, all 8 billion of y'all going to hell. How you know? That's what the Bible says. Okay, but did you die? No, yes, right? So that's what I believe, but I'm not about to try to make you and be so right that about something that I don't necessarily know. I got faith. That's my world. But if I go to an Arabic country,
you're in a different world.
I'm in a different world at that point. And
chill.
don't nobody understand. Everybody's trying to explain their version of God. And that's great. That's beautiful. But no one knows. I don't care if it's a theological minister of all time. You don't know 100%, bro, because you ain't never died. Once you die, you're going to find out, right? That's just a fact.
Well, that's the faith, right?
Yeah. So
you're never going to know 100%.
We're never going to know. So that's just to your point, as far as like people always trying to be right. I look at those people a little bit different, is because, hey man, stop just trying to put your right on everybody. That's a little bit narcissistic, but I can go down that street a long way and then we'll be driving 5 miles. So I'm gonna change the subject.
No, I think it's a great topic, man. I think people need to. This is where I'm at right now in my life. This is where I step every day, is grace.
Absolutely.
I got frustrated the other day, and I'm like, human beings being human. I have to give people grace on them being emotional. You can't expect someone not to be emotional. He's really good at this. Like he'll consume it and he'll think on it, and he'll ponder on it, and he'll come back and go, hey, you know what? You having a rough day, or you having this? Like, we both do this to each other. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, if we can give that example to someone and we can walk through the furnace with them holding their hand, even when they're emotional, who are they going to look up to? How are they really going to change?
Yep.
They're going to change based upon watching actions of someone going through the trench and seeing how they react, how they respond, and go, wow, that person held it together. That person's unshakable. Mm-hmm. That's what we're at right now. As we walk in a space right now, is like, how do you be unshakable? Reggie, how do you be unshakable, bro?
First of all, that's a lifelong process.
Great answer.
Right, that's a lifelong
That's
process.
grace.
Yeah. So, like I said, I got both of you guys inside of me. I would say no homo. That would I had to throw that out there.
Got it.
But what I said, y'all person.
No diddy. No diddy.
No diddy, baby. You got 4 years. Stand up, my boy. But anyway.
Oh shit. Eating up.
But as far as the even kill and then the heart on the sleeve, because I'm such a passionate person, I've had to learn, because I'm hot or cold. There's nothing lukewarm about me. However, in order to be a good leader, you have to be able to empathize. You have to be able to see things the way people see them. So I was like, see things. So I'm like, what do I need to do to really be able to tap into that? You know what the number one thing I do? I read my Bible every single day. What does that do? What that does is, for me, is that it shows God my heart posture, right?
Explain.
Because when you change the heart posture about things, whether if you struggling with, let's say, being patient, lust, spending your money the wrong way, different things, and you praying like, God, like, please help me with this. I need help with this. Da, da, da. Okay, what are you tangibly doing to work on your heart, right? So the first thing I started doing was reading my Bible every single day as an obligation, right? And it wasn't to necessarily preach the word to somebody. It was to show God, God, my heart is towards you. Like, I don't got it all right, and I'm trying to be patient with my employees. I'm trying to be patient with my wife. I'm trying to be, the man that you need me to be, but I need you to like open things up for me so I can change. So when I started reading my Bible, some kind of way spiritually, you start hearing things a little different.
Start listening.
You start listening a little different. And then honestly, opportunities come to you. And then I learned this. I'm going to try to say this right. All right. Your mind, let's look at this metaphor. Your mind is, I would say, okay, let's go with the heart. The heart is more spiritual. Your mind is flesh, right? So the mind and the heart are going to battle, meaning the flesh and your spirit. You have to grow your heart by, reading your Bible, doing different things that's going to make your heart more pure and more honest. And once they keep going war, and that hearts get stronger and stronger and stronger, to your point, you start changing. You start being able to handle people different, being more even keeled. Me not blasting out on somebody because they don't understand this business routine that we're supposed to be doing. You're just supposed to get it like me. That's me. Like, what you mean? What you mean? You tired? What do you mean? You tired? And then I black out on them. Instead, it's like, you know what? Everybody ain't built the same, bro.
Yep.
If they were the same, they'd be you.
Right. How did I do that? I had to change my heart posture. Like, I wanted to be more something that I ain't grow up with. I ain't grow up learning how to be empathetic or, the understanding, letting somebody snap on me and look at them in their eyes and respond calm. That's not me. If you disrespect me, I turn to a different person. Mm-hmm. But that's not good leadership, bro, because like you said, in order to teach them, you have to listen to understand versus listening to respond. All these things I learned by just spending time with God. Not trying to be the most holy person in the world, right? But just spend time with God, and then eventually the things that I want to watch change. The things that I want to listen to change. I still like Drake, but I like Forrest Frank more than Drake now.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I still watch like all my movies. I like CIA movies, But now I pay attention to politics. I listen to my boy, what's his name? The black pastor. He's really good.
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
What's his name, man? He 2819.
Huh?
2819. Philip Anthony Mitchell. I listen to Philip Anthony Mitchell a lot. You know what I'm saying? Why? Heart posture. I say all that to say, when you change your heart posture, the things that's not so good about you, they begin to improve, man. So
it's because he softens your heart. He opens you up to be listening.
And also for you might got a flaw with the calmness. And you might need to step up a little bit with certain situations. I don't know, right? Because sometimes when you kind of calm, you can kind of let people finesse you or take advantage of you when you should have spoke a different way. So
he's calm in the space. There's no calm when it comes to when things are disrespected. He is zero issues.
Blitz mode.
No, but he doesn't blitz them like.
I don't hold back. Like, you said earlier, like, you have no problem sharing your mind. Like, I have no problem sharing my mind in any emotional state I'm in. So if you ask me truly, like, how did I do in that speaking engagement? Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, you struggled a little bit.
That's good.
Like, I'm not gonna be like, you crushed
you don't
it.
Filter it.
I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna critique you because I care about you.
Good.
And if you know me, then you know it's coming out of love, right? If we don't have that relationship, I'm not even saying my 2 cents. Because, like, we don't have that bond. Yeah. I know you're not going to listen to me. right?
Yep.
And so that's what's really important is like approach, right? So you talk about understanding in order to like respond versus listen. The approach is everything, and that's what we've learned, because every single person has different triggers, and until you know their triggers, you won't know how to correctly communicate to them, because you might say something that works best for you, but it might trigger them from a past trauma that you don't even understand, and then they become this bad employee. They don't communicate with you. They don't get things done they're supposed to, and it's just like this rabbit race of you getting frustrated and them fucking up. Yeah. And it's just because you don't truly understand who they are. You don't know what motivates them. Like, what is their driver? And we've learned it the hard way.
Yeah, we coach the approach. And the way we really did it, to be honest, and doing it is listening, right? Like, and really, and I love this because I feel like this is the truth. Whatever someone gives, they secretly want to receive. It's the easiest way to figure out anybody. Like you can watch people and you see how they react and respond and check in with people and tap them on the back and text them and call them, and because they actually want it.
Hey, chat, y'all need to take down some of these quotes because he be saying bars.
Hey, we've forced Frank over here. Right?
They're going on t-shirts. What they want to receive. I like that. And then what you said downstairs, your breaking point is God's building point.
That's it.
That's going into content.
It's going on t-shirts.
Shout out to my boy Wes.
No, we got take it. I took it from Ed Milet, man. I mean, it's things that you consume, and I want to go back on two things you guys just said. One, I thought it was really important based on your heart posture. Why would I want to open my heart posture? You have to be open, number one, but the only reason I would be open is because I'm watching you and you're inspiring me in a way to be able to do that because of the way you carry yourself. If Joe Blow over here tells me to have heart posture, but he's not a good person, I can't take that information and have an open heart because I don't feel safe.
Right.
So you have to find people that are giving you good advice that you actually look up to in those triggering moments. Like triggering moments, how do you test your triggers? You pray, God, I really need help with this. Okay, Weston, here's a bomb I'm going to drop on you. And I'm not going to drop a little baby one. I'm going to drop the biggest bomb, and I'm going to see how you react and how you respond to it. You either changed or you remain the same. And like that's hard. And so like what we like to do with our employees or our friends, we don't ever really call people employees, to be honest. Like these are people we love working with.
Yep.
We study their triggers, we study their attachment styles, we study their brain types, and then we help them develop into their greatest identity and help them develop their dream into reality, because they sometimes don't know. Because if they did know, they would be a mirror, Chris. And so we just want to help them and give them the most resources and also push them, get them uncomfortable, but in a safe place. I know that sounds really weird to say.
No, I understand.
But then also figuring out their drivers, like asking those bigger and intense questions of like, Reggie, what's your biggest driver of why you do what you do? No, I'm asking you.
Well, to your point, it's the same thing I do with my team, and that's how you hold them accountable. So let's say with Adaris, he's one of my true believers. So in my company, I have something, and I learned this from PBD. So if you see this content, I learned this from you, my boy. You have doubters, believers. You have doubters, believers, and then true believers. True believers are people that will never leave you. So those people I really dive into and find out, what motivates them? How do they accept communication? Because why did I have to do that? Similar to what you guys are saying, I was losing people because I am a person that is motivated by madness. Whatever you told me I couldn't do, I'm going to do it. You hate on me, I'm going to prove you wrong. But everybody not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody like that.
Everybody's not like that. Some people are, they just want the lifestyle. They want a nice car. They want this. They ain't been through the same things.
The highlights.
Or another person may just want to see the company grow. They haven't had the life problems and issues that you've had. So if you keep trying to motivate them your way, then you're going to lose them. And I lost dozens of people like that because I'm just pushing, right? So just learning people's, I guess, I don't want to say love language, but just how they take in information. And that's why I like what you just said. Whatever you give.
You know what an attachment style is?
I probably do. Explain it.
So there's 4 attachments.
Yeah.
So you have your secure, your anxious, your
okay, it's something different.
What's the dismissive avoidant and a fearful avoidant. This is the most and the best information I've ever gained from my personal self, to actually walk through the trench and open the door I've looked at and didn't want to open it for 10, 15 years. And I would recommend it to everybody, is studying your attachment style. And so like when you really identify those things, like I know Chris's story more than anybody because I've asked those deep, dark questions, and we went through the door together in a lot of ways for both of each other, right? Like I was abandoned, right, which made me a fearful avoidant. And so what happened is every time, and I lived in chaos because of it, because I thought something was leaving me all the time. So what I operated just nonstop 100 miles an hour because that was my fear driving me, right? His fear is completely different than mine, right? He doesn't want to be like somebody. I don't have that same fear, right? And so it's really good to know the fears of the people we work with as well as our best friends or our family or our friends, because then we're actually to work with them and through those trenches. And that has been life-changing. Like I would 100% everybody to go try to learn your attachment style. And there's so many researches on it of like how to heal it and cure it. And then also figuring out like relationships of being able to figure out how to deal with your partner. And so like we have a business relationship, right? Not necessarily, but like having to learn him that way on personal and business and merging them, most people tell us that it's dumb or you shouldn't do that. We see it as there's no other option because it's been so amazing for us to be able to merge as one business, one personal.
It's the trust. It's the like sleep well at night trust. I don't have to worry. Like I handle a lot of the finances. He doesn't have to worry that I'm doing some sketchy shit. Like he talks to a lot of the clients. Like I don't have to worry about anything he communicates that we aren't aligned with because we talk about it all the time. Like you can't find that. And why do we have that? It's because we have a bond before business. We just so happen that we love the same thing. We did not set out to do that. We actually lived together while he was doing this full time, and I was doing something entirely different with no interest whatsoever.
It's crazy. He'd walk by, I'd be editing, and he's like, "What's up?" Just keep walking.
Yeah.
Which is really wild.
He'd hand me a camera and be like, "Bro, I don't want to shoot today. What do you mean?" And then it was all I ever wanted to do. Yeah. Right. And so having that bond before everything is truly why we are so successful. But at the same time, is like where he lacks, I pick up, and vice versa.
Powerful, bro.
And like we've learned and grown together off of like our strengths and weaknesses. And that's what makes us so dangerous. Like that's the word that I live by, is like become dangerous. It's very important. When you walk in the room, like are people turning heads just by the way you carry yourself? They do.
It's aura, bro.
It's aura.
Well, and that's a huge topic we should probably talk about is, we like to tell everybody that we connect with, pick one word. And dude, it'll hit you one day. And I don't know if you know your word. Obviously, I think pursuit on there. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the one word for you?
Technically, it is pursuit. That's why I got this jewelry made, and that's why my company's name Pursuit. Because why? We're like, I don't ever, like for an example, I want the option to do nothing, but I never want to retire because I always want to be pursuing something, right? And I learned that from my grandfather. I used to joke him all the time. Granddad, why are you breaking the whole back patio down and rebuilding it? Why are you breaking, the stove and buying a new one and refit? He was like, son, when you retire, that's when you die. What do you mean by that? If I stop working, he's 70 years old at this point. If I stop working, I think I'm gonna die. I'm like, wow. He said, never retire, son. Always be having to do something. And when he told me that, it's like, I didn't understand until COVID happened. And I was like, oh man, I already named the company Pursuit. My point is always be striving to do something, no matter what, whether that's mental, in your heart, business, friendships, etc. Always pursue. So
well, you say you realized that during COVID. What was that like breaking
to the next level? Because I used to joke my grandfather. We all used to joke. We got a huge family, right? Like, because just imagine you guys did this whole place. And because you don't have nothing to do, you tear it all down and then redo it. You'd be like, bruh, what are you doing?
We would do that.
That's me.
Yeah, that's like, what are you doing? We couldn't understand it. Make a long story short, COVID come around, and I'm so used to being like, business, going to deal with the team, just like everybody else. And I was sitting in the house after like 3 weeks, getting in arguments on the phone for no reason. And I'm like, yo, I just thought about my granddad. And I was like, this is what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. You have to be pursuing something. You have to be doing something. You're going to go crazy because that's how you're built. That's in our blood. It's purpose. And you guys' blood is purpose. So when COVID hit, it was like, I was starting to like kind of like get real frustrated. Money-wise, I was okay, right? But you can be blessed money-wise, But if you're not, for me, if I'm not doing something, if I'm not conquering something, if I'm not solving some problems, if I'm not helping people, I'm going to go insane, which is, so I was about to flip it to another topic coming to Texas. But yeah, that's what happened in Texas. But in Virginia, 2020. But when I came to Texas, I started feeling it again because that was my first time being away from any of my businesses, right? I was always at least in one state where they was at. So I could always go in, get in there, start shaking and moving. Then I was here for about 7 months and I'm like, yo, okay, this is kind of not what I like. I thought I was going to like it. So that's what birthed a lot of other things that I do now. But
you know what that word is? You've been explaining?
What is it?
Uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but it's fulfillment, right? You were so fulfilled by your businesses and being fully involved with them. And the money aspect, I'm sure, was great, right? Because you have comfort. But you were motivated by the fulfillment of growing something. And when you kind of stepped away from it, you lost that drive because that's what's the most important thing. Like a lot of people we meet are focused on money and they're money driven for like 30, 40 years. And maybe they do become successful and become millionaires or billionaires. But then they're sitting across the table from us downstairs asking us how to be happy at 28 and 30 years old. We don't have
shit's real.
That's
Like that
sick.
is, I get chills. Dude, it freaks us out. Me and Chris get done with our session and we're like,
that just happened. Like,
wait a minute. Like I get full blown chills because I'm like, that means they lived
I can see
15,
the hair coming up on your arms. I see it.
15,
Little
20
bit
years.
there.
Think about this. 15, 20 years. Like my legs are going nuts. 15, 20 years. You lived for someone else. You did all of that to realize you hated it. That freaks me out. I can't imagine going 15 years of my life grinding to wake up and go, man, this isn't what I wanted. And so like our biggest quote is do what you love with the people you love and it'll find its way. It'll find its way. Like if you're not fulfilled and you don't really like we extract it. We figure out like, well, the way we did it was we take personal business fulfillment. We have 3 days. We do a workshop. We figured out by asking the right questions. And I asked you this today, that $700 million guy you were talking about, you said he was happy and you knew immediately that he was happy. And so like we started asking millionaires, billionaires, famous people, respectfully, are you happy? And we get 2 answers. Absolutely is the answer, which is basically what you told me today. And then we get yeah, kind of happy. Sure. And we figured out those people, they sacrificed their entire life, their entire identity, their values, their missions, everything to make financial money. And they get it and they realize they don't know who they are. The people that were happy built a dream, built a brand, made their values, made their mission, and they built a business around it, and it becomes limitless.
You know what else they did?
They brought the right people.
They lost.
They lost?
They lost
Explain
in that process. The loss is what really makes you find yourself. They did all the good things, but they also took a lot of L's in the process.
and kept going.
Because that everything you
Can't
just
get a million without 2 L's, bud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the losses, man. I remember one time, I'll tell y'all a quick story. I think I was 26 and I had saved the most money I ever had. I think I had saved like, at that point, I had saved like 500,000 like cash.
Big money.
That's a huge
26.
money. That's for somebody to have $500,000 liquid at any point is good money if it just sitting there, right? And I remember, and I was just so focused. Something happened, and I was just like locked in for like a long time. And then I started like I blinked, bro. And I started having fun, traveling, flying my guys everywhere, da 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 da. And then business got terrible, and I went down to like, I remember I went down to like 60,000 in like a year and a half. Bro, at that point, and keep in mind, 26, you're like a real adult.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a game no more, right?
That's real.
Because if you made that kind of money, you already done adulted yourself. You done got house, you got whatever, right? So I was like, I was just like at rock bottom money-wise, but I was kind of blown away that I did that. And then I was like, God, can you help me? You know what I heard God say? Help yourself. No. He just said no. And that was a turning point for me, that I lost that much money by blowing it then bad deals happen, stuff just, and I mean, you know, and from that day to this day, I'm so grateful for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful for accomplishing, losing, and then accomplishing again and again and again and again. Obviously, it's gonna be other L's in between time, but I had never like destroyed myself like that ever. And I was just like, yo. So then I remember getting back, I think I was like 28 when I finally got back. It took me like 2 years. God was like, oh, you about to learn today, boy. Right? I had to change my life. I had to change everything because I blew it. And it just gave me a different appreciation about life, man. So everything doesn't take L's to learn, but I think for certain personality types, for it to be sustainable, the losses are important.
I mean, dude, the losses in my life were the greatest assets.
Yeah.
And you can't teach those things easier. You can't teach.
Yeah, I write that down. The losses in my life was a great asset. That's gonna be my thing for you.
Man, I mean, truthfully, like I look at all the we call them furnaces. You know, like you go through a furnace as a sword, you get molded, and you get beaten down to get redefined, right? But they also shape you into a new identity. And I think today's society has just taught people to just give up. And I just don't know where that came from for me or you, and I don't know enough about you necessarily to know why you don't give up. But like, I look at Chris all the time. I'm like, I don't have to worry, one. But two, I'm admired. I'm like, that motherfucker don't quit. He ain't never gonna fucking quit. He's gonna do what he wants to do, and he's gonna provide for his family. He's gonna become the best dad in the world. He's gonna do all the things that he put his mind to, and he's going to be successful in his version of what that is. And it's cool to be able to watch your best friend grow into the coolest version of themselves. Mm-hmm. It's the coolest feeling in the world. You're like, dang, he just went through another chapter. He doesn't even know he went through the chapter, but I get to watch it. Then he's going to go back and read his book and go, holy shit, I did this. Because he's so tapped in, he's so locked in, he's not quitting. He's just going through the next phase, quote for you, turning floors to ceilings. He doesn't even realize he goes through them. And so I think there was something I wanted to ask you too, and I want to ask both of y'all. It's like being still. You know, I pray for this too often. I struggle with being still. So like me and you are very aligned there, of like the chaos theory, right? I'm really good at procrastination. I don't like doing things like him, where he's like, okay, I'm disciplined. I'll wake up. I'll do this. I'll get this done. For me, I'm like, okay, I get shit done in the weirdest way in 24 hours when I should have just done it in 72. Yeah. Like I'll make 40 phone calls, and like my driver kicks in. I'm like, why can't I just do this in 3 days instead of this time period? It doesn't make sense to me.
Thriving chaos.
But it's interesting. So it's like, is there ever a time in life that I'm gonna go forward and not ask for more? I struggle with that question in my head every day. And the more is not necessarily money. It's more help. It's more people. It's more connections. It's more value. It's like, am I ever going to be able to just sit on a cabin and just sit? That stresses me out. Do y'all ever deal with like running through that thought process in your head?
100%. You go first. Let me go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually I was switching out where you go, but yeah, I'm gonna listen to you. But
Uno reverse.
I would say yes. I don't necessarily think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad or good. For me, I don't know.
I think it's important for the why. Mm-hmm. Like, what's your why for, always wanting more? My why for always wanting more is because there are different type of givers in the world. I'm not the person that's just going to wow you for your birthday, or I'm going to just be giving nonstop. I'm a change giver, right? So whenever I give, I change situations. And in order to change situations, you have to be constantly growing in different ways. So if I give my time, I'm not the person that's going to make everything you go to. But when you really need something and it involves time, it may involve me, hey, I'm going to be gone for 15 days because I got to really help my guy on this think tank program, and I'm going to just lock in with him and I'm going to do it for free. That's time. And I'm helping you change your whole situation. Money, same thing. So as long as you're content in who you are, which I am, and your why for never wanting to be, more, and it doesn't consume you, I don't think it's necessarily wrong, to be honest, because God makes everybody different, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was reading this book called, what is it? Priests and Prophets. And when it comes to churches, a lot of times the pastor tries to make everybody evangelists, right? Everybody need to be a preacher and know the word, da 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 da. But there's some people that are the go-getters and the money getters for the church, right? They're not supposed to be going to theologian school and doing all those things. And pastors kind of push the wrong people in the wrong direction. What's my point? Everybody has a different lane. The way you're a savage and the way you're a savage, as long as it's healthy and you got a why, you need to be like that.
No, I mean, I fully agree with
Because
you.
I'm the same way, bro. Like, I'm not to cut you off, but to cut you off. I hate when people say not to cut you, bro. You cut me off. But I'm a savage, bro. Like, I love being a savage. I know how to calm down. I know how to relax. I actually search for moments to relax. I just don't want to do it too long. I'm not the guy that can sit there for 2 days or 3 days in the house. I can't do that, right? I'll give you a day and a half. Then I got to get busy. So, but like I said, man, we can kind of always want to correct ourselves, right? And I think that's good. But, you know, having certain traits that you have and traits that you have, man, you'd be surprised how many people would die to have those traits, bro. Like, and you know this intuitively, like, you know, I'm going to say something kind of weird right now, but that's why, you know, it's so many simps on and make these girls rich on OnlyFans. They don't know who they are, bro. They like all pieces of crap. They would love to be a savage or to be like locked in like you and just know who we are. Mm-hmm. I know who I am, and it's going to come with some things that may not be so good sometimes, but I'm so confident and love who I am so much. I'm going to constantly try to grow and try to, you know, sculpt that person. But as long as your morals, our morals is where they need to be and our whys correct, if I can't sit down for a day and more than a day and a half, it is what it is, bro. Don't try to make me sit down for 3 days. That ain't who I am, bro. You're going to turn me into like a monster. You keep trying to, you know what I'm saying? And my wife, she understands this. Like, if we go to Monaco and I give you like 6 hours with me not touching my phone and working, you understand that is like an amazing trait.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
Because I can't do more than that.
It's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Or I can extrapolate that down to different situations. It's like, that's who I am. And it just is what it is, bro. So
you're just you, bro.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it because my morals right, my why's right, my heart is right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But as I tell people all the time,
it's right for the people around you.
Yeah, right for the people around you. And I'm always gonna respect everything. Like, I know how to change that. I might not be like that in every situation. We might go Wednesday and we both see different parts of each other's personality. I might be the inquisitive guy. I might not say nothing because this is something that I need to listen and be a different person. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, you know, being yourself and I ain't gonna say that, but just understanding that that's special, bro. Like, that's why we're around each other. Y'all special dudes. And you hear it all the time, but take it from another special guy that has been through a lot of things and could be further than where he is now, myself, if I wouldn't have made certain decisions. And that's okay as a part of the maturation process, and you are where you're supposed to be at. Y'all special, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
that
bro.
trait, man, shit, I want to change that for nothing.
I don't want to change it. It's more so like being able to calm chaos down at certain times. He knows me.
No, I agree with that.
I'm never gonna not be able to climb. He is never not gonna be able to challenge. So like we're same but different.
Yeah.
Like I need chaos to feel. He needs a challenge to feel. Mm-hmm. So like the challenge can be a lot of different things. Mine's just constantly chaos. That's where I feel weirdly enough safe. I know that sounds absolutely insane.
It doesn't to me.
I grew up in that chaos. Mm-hmm. So that's a weird safe place for me. I know that's ridiculous, and you know my dad, so you can understand where that comes from.
I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's a matter of the environment you grow up in, right? And like, I wouldn't say I grew up in a chaotic environment or a super calm one. It was just like not my favorite. And so I just learned to suppress any and all emotion that I had to in order to do what I felt like I needed to get out of that situation. Yeah. Right? Because, you know, when you're a kid, you don't really have control over anything. Like, you just do what your parents tell you to do, and like if your parents are split up, you do what the court tells you to do. So you know, you every other weekend, every Wednesday, flipping holidays, like I didn't want to go see my dad. He was everything I didn't want to be. You know, I won't sit here and talk ill about my father, but like he was the perfect example of the man I didn't want to be for my kids, my wife, and my friends. And to be around that was really, really tough because the narcissism, the negativity, the sexism, all that stuff, you know, it did rub off on me because I just had to be around it and it killed me. So I was a negative kid. I was quiet. I was depressed. And like, until I separated myself from that situation, I started to discover who I was. And that I didn't have to place my identity on something that I wasn't because I already wasn't that from the beginning. And I had to grow for myself, and I had to look for those things that I wanted to go after in life, not just because I didn't want to be this, but because I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to do, or at least it was for me, because I didn't really have the best example growing up of like the man to be. You know, I had an awesome mother. Like, he knows my mom. She's basically our mom. She's an absolute angel. I don't know how she got tangled up with my father, but she did. Without her, I would not be the same human I am today.
And also glad she did, right?
Yeah, and glad she did, right? Because I wouldn't be here otherwise. But like, I don't really know where I was going with that, but it's just
Where you were going is, and he said something.
Stillness.
It's important that your dad was the way. I mean, it sounds
yes.
weird as
no,
it sounds.
it is.
It's so important, bro. Because what if you probably would have been different if he was like a great dad?
Yeah, and I was kind of a lazy kid, and until I had some of that like adversity in life was really when I locked in on like discipline, and nobody's going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. And if you want to do something in this life, you got to go do it. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to study for you. No one's going to go to the gym for you. No one's going to, well, my mom made my meals, thank God. But like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to put in the work. And I learned that from a very young age. And I think I just suppressed my emotions so long that it just kind of numbed me for a bit. And really, I didn't start stepping into like who I was and embracing it and speaking more and like putting myself out there really until I left my job at like 24, 23. And even then I was still pretty quiet. Like, he knows.
I had to force him in very uncomfortable situations.
I mean, I didn't come out of my shell really until like a couple years ago. Really, like 26, 27 is really when I started being me.
So in your shell was what? And then show me come out your shell. I didn't come out my shell versus where I'm at
260.
260.
now. Well, mentally.
Mentally,
That's part of it.
yeah, that's a big part of it. You know, I was overweight, unhealthy. I was depressed. So I'd wake up and it'd be hard to get out of bed. I was just like, you know, I could get things done. Like Weston always says, you know, no matter what, I can just keep going. But like at the same time, I'm dying on the inside, you know? And that's the way it was for so long, where I didn't have a whole lot of happiness. I had purpose, I had a drive, I had things that I love, but I didn't have like true happiness inside of me because I wasn't focusing on like, who am I? Like, what are the 3 things that nobody can take away from me that I can do every single day to have a better day? And I didn't know the answer to those questions because I was just focused on literally like, what am I not good at? How do I get better at it?
Yeah.
And that's a great place to be. But at the same time, I learned from our good friend, Tony Tavares, is like, learn what you're good at and double down on it. If you're always focused on the things you're not good at, you're never going to get anywhere. And like, I love growth. I love building things. I love a challenge, which is why I still have like, I went for a marathon last year and I was really into yoga. So I became a yoga teacher and like all these random things. Like, I was a structural design engineer. I had no passion for that, but it was a challenge. My brother did it, so I went and did it.
Yeah.
Like, I did all these things just to prove that I could do them, but I didn't do them because I loved them. And this is the first thing I've done because I loved it.
And he was doing a lot of things because everybody told him he should do them.
Yeah.
You know, like society teaches you, right, to go do X, Y, Z. Well, what if we were born and raised around entrepreneurship? I can't imagine how different my life would be if I was around you or around some of the people we're connected with now. I can't even imagine what life would have looked like. Don't go to school. You don't need to buy a house yet.
Bro.
You don't need a college degree to make a lot of money or even a little money. You just got to figure out how to communicate, connect with people, and then be willing to go out there and work hard and be disciplined. Like, I remember Chris, no matter if he was going through a depressed space in his life, and the thing is, no one would know. I knew because I know him and I studied him and I learned him and I watched him walk in. I watched him smile. I watched him figure out what he was obsessed with. Obsessed is a very amazing word. You find somebody that's obsessed with something, let them double down on it. They're going to be amazing at it. Right? It might not, like, I grew up and people forced me to do this. And I was like, I should just figure out what I was obsessed with when I was younger and just sprinted. Like that's the one thing I wish I would have just ran after. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, it's cool to be able to see you go into a space of existing versus now watching you be able to live every day.
And the biggest example of that, if you were to see me back then versus now, is like when I come in anywhere, like whether it's at the grocery store or it's an event or like there's people here over, like, hey, how you doing? It's smiles, it's interaction, it's giving positive energy, it's living a life that God want me to live and shining an example of like a godly man.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that before. You'd see a guy that just walks in the room, tries to avoid everyone as much as possible, does his thing, and then gets out.
Got you.
It's that aura that was missing.
No one would ever know that by looking at you.
No one would know that.
Well, and that's one thing I was saying, like here, Chris, when you put things out, it gives people a reason to respond back.
Mm-hmm.
If Chris doesn't speak or put things out, they have no ammo on him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get at Chris because you don't know enough about Chris.
Yeah.
So if Chris moves like this when we go into an event and this, that, and the other, people have no idea what's up or down. And that's where he lived for a long period of time until he was able to identify who he really wants to be. And he's walking exactly what he put his mind to. And now he walks in with his aura of like, holy fuck, that's really Thor.
And it's like, it's funny how many people you can impact in a positive way just by speaking your truth.
Just by speaking your truth.
Well,
or just by moving.
You can't fake muscles, big dog. You can't fake that shit.
Yeah.
Like when you walked into the Jets thing, like you got that dog in you.
Facts.
Like you can read it. Like when I see people, I'm like, it just takes you to a whole nother level of 0.01% of people. How many billionaires do you know that are fit? How many millionaires do you know that are fit?
Yeah.
Like I know that sounds crazy, but like Tony Tavera is the guy he just talked about. They have a $600 million roofing company. He went to Olympia
and won.
Wow.
I think he got like 40th.
Well, are you talking about way back or recently?
Yeah, he recently went.
Yeah, recently went back at like, what is he, 30 something now?
37.
Yeah, he's like 37.
Bro,
went
but
back.
he operates so like massive amounts of people. He had to hide going to the Olympia, literally, so his company didn't find out. Private equity, like you can't go out and show that you're doing other shit. Huge company trained for the Olympia at the same time while traveling to states and doing everything, and placed like 40th in the Olympia.
Crazy.
Head of sales for a national
They're going to
organization.
transact for $1 billion soon. He's going to be a guy that evaluated a business at $1 billion and also became part of the Olympia.
It's crazy.
Who the fuck does that?
Nobody
Yeah.
does.
That's a story for that.
You get what I'm saying?
Jesus
Like
Christ.
you talk about like challenges and different things. Like when you walked into the room wearing what you did, doing what you do, walking the way you walk, you're inspiring people you haven't even know their name. And that's the coolest thing. Cause like for him, he doesn't speak a lot, but when he walks, people know what he's doing and how he's doing it. And so like a long conversation we used to have was like, Chris, can you inspire people without talking?
Mm.
And like it took him a long time to figure it out. And finally people kept coming up to him. And then it finally like hit like, holy shit, I have to be doing something. Like I'm not talking to nobody, but people keep coming and talking to me. Like
People
weird
do
how-
that. They're
it's
like,
weird.
you do something. You're somebody. And I'm
It's
like,
weird
"Bro,
how
I'm
that
nobody."
happens. Aura is probably one of the most unexplainable words ever. Like because
You know where it really comes from?
facts.
God.
Yeah.
He'll shine a light on you when you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's good.
But I
though,
did.
bro. Like aura. I mean, because we see it on different people, but it's rare though. Aura, like a male that just has an aura about him, and then when he says something, it's not about him. It's just like,
it's reflection.
hey, bro, I fuck with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's kind of how we were together.
That's how we connected.
Well, dude,
right?
this is so off topic probably, but I'm going to try to combine it together. I was watching a video of a shark the other day.
Of a shark.
Huge great white.
Okay.
And it was a video of 6 months in between. 6 years. No, 6 months. 6 months. And it was the same great white shark. And this shark, the only way they knew that it was the same one is it had this huge slash down its back fin. Like it was all cut to pieces. And in my head, I'm like, how do these sharks have all these, if you really look at sharks, they got all these scratches and all this shit on them. And I'm like, who the fuck's fucking with a great white shark?
Right.
I thought about that the other day and I'm like, holy shit. But then you talk about scars and it's like, man, it's kind of cool to see that great white shark being the beast, the dog, like the alpha with all the scars creates the aura of like, that's got to be somebody.
Right.
That's got to be something. Like I got to go talk to this person.
Right.
Like that's why I think it's important to show those scars because it's a chapter of your story that people can see versus hear.
Right.
And then when they can hear your story and then they see your story, it just adds this whole different aura of character. You know, like I think character is probably the key word for aura. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, well, like you grab attention with the aura, right? That's how you get the eyes, and then once you get them listening and you speak, that's when you really got them.
Facts.
And like, yeah,
Keep going, continue.
no, I was just saying, like, and then how you move inside of that conversation will determine where that relationship goes. Like, and people just look up. I've had guys go after marathons that I've never even met and just reached out to me on Instagram. It's like, man, you inspired me to run a marathon. My whole family's running now. Never met this guy.
That's what life is.
I just posted a couple of runs. That's all I did.
No, we're gonna have a helipad out here, bro. So like,
Yeah.
you probably don't even know what we're really doing out here, but like, we're building a compound. You ever seen Fantasy Factory by Rob Dyrdek? No. You remember Robin Big?
Okay.
Is that guy?
I
You know,
got you.
like they
I
do
got you.
crazy shit in skateboard. Well, he
Yeah,
ended
yeah,
up
yeah.
building a huge compound, and he would just wake up and call it Fantasy Factory, and he would build skate parks, or he would like do all this crazy shit and have go karts through his office. Like he would just do the craziest.
How much land do you guys own out here?
2 acres.
Yeah. So yeah, everything right here down that
Cool.
way.
Good.
So yeah, so our goal with everything is like this is phase one. Eventually, we'll like block this off as the headquarters, as well as like an Airbnb space. So this turns into like 6 or 7 bedrooms, right? So the big facility is going to be 25,000 square feet. So that'll have a full blown gym, like Absolute Recon, but for us only. So like our brand's exclusive. So like you'll have an exclusive subscription in order to have access to what we have, but not everybody's going to get access. Like we don't want fucking anybody in there.
Right.
So what we're going to do is have peptide company, stem cell company, barbershop, tattoo shop, nail salon, hair salon, you know, restaurant, coffee shop. And what we're going to do is be an incubator to basically help companies come in and scale their businesses. So we'll take equity in their companies, and then we'll have foot traffic, and then we'll also provide them marketing content in order to scale their business. And then what we do is we replace them every 6 months. So we actually get to grow them mentally and in their business. They have access to this, you know, the compound. And then the other side of that phase 2 is a green screen room, podcast room, audio recording, you know, music video setups. And then we're going to have a 60-foot LED screen for basically like masterminds. So it'll be a huge event space. We can pull in cars. Like we'll make
Complete
this whole
asset.
this whole compound that's, you know, creative thinking outside the box. And then the third part of this product is going to be Airbnb units inside the facility. So your whole team can come. We have a car detail company that Greg owns that they're literally going to pick you up at the airport. They drive you out here. You have food, you have gym, you have mental health, you got your cold sauna, you got your hot tub, you got it all.
Yeah.
Right? To where you can come here and just completely lock the doors, separate, and identify why you're going from good to great.
It's awesome. Bro.
Like
I
that.
like that vision.
We've been all over the world, bro. We never have a car. We never have food. We never have a correct gym. And then inside of that, how do you be creative?
Right.
So, you know, like basically that's the compound here is kind of designing how to convert your dream to reality. And we want to build a curriculum to help kids, adults kind of take back their life or align their life around purpose, passion, not paychecks. And that's really the dream of what we're trying to help is like create a life you really want to live. Right. And so that's the phase 1 is right now is what we're in.
That's dope, bro. How many years do you guys think before y'all want to get it done?
We're about to build phase 2 actually. So that's going to be the full green screen psych wall event space. So we're about to build that actually coming up probably by the end of the year. We're going to try to build the building for that.
Yeah. So phase 2 production studio, phase 3 event space, phase 4 full on gym.
Dope.
I mean, 5 years is the goal. So we just got to see how we
Yeah,
do
and
it.
like Greg, we're working on a big project with Greg where there might be a full funding at some point to
Yeah.
like make this thing like a legit, you know, A+ studio type aesthetic, you know,
Crazy.
because
We've
we're not going to be
never-
able to fund that on our own for X amount of years. But
Right.
the
Yeah.
goal is to, you know, we want to do something like it comes back to legacy is like we don't want to live forever, but we want to build something that does. And our goal is to unlock people's gifts and teach them their gifts. That way they can serve it every day to make them feel fulfilled, and then teach them how to pull other people's gifts out so that they can do the same.
And what you guys been through is what birthed these thoughts and these ideas. So that's awesome, bro.
And it's funny because we both have like different starts. So like in the beginning, Weston got out of high school and went straight into construction with his dad. And so he was doing hard labor like all day, every day. And then when he got into this, he was like traveling for nightlife. So he'd work all day and then he'd go out to Fort Worth and shoot nightlife and then come back and then work the next day.
Get home at 4 a.m. every morning.
Yeah. So like, and then I went to school and then I was an engineer and then I found a camera through him. It's funny, I bought my first camera setup off of him out of college. And then every chance I got, I was working at it. Right. But at that time he was already 4 years in. And so when we came together, it was like I had nothing but an interest. And then I had some equipment eventually, and he had like a lot going on and needed some help. And so we started collaborating together, right? Like he's not very structured. Like I love you, but back in the day,
chaos, bro. I'm chaos.
back in the day, he had one Pelican case, and every bit of his equipment was just thrown in there. The cards, the cameras, the lenses, the batteries.
Hold on 1 second.
The cords, and always something was gone. And so that was the first.
Fuck! I can't find this stupid thing.
That was the first place I started. I went to the camera store. I got 2 Pelicans with dividers, and I organized everything. And since then, that's like the perfect beginning of our business together. And you know, I saw areas that we can improve on, and then we had this trip in South Africa, bro. It was supposed to be like 20 days long. We were going to film a hunting influencer, so we wanted to go all these big game hunts, go to Cape Town, and then go explore in the backcountry. And this was during COVID. And so we got hit with the sickness, and we were down pretty bad. We spent 10 days in Cape Town.
What sickness was it?
It was COVID.
We had Africa COVID.
We had like the D strain, like the intense version. And so we all got it at the same time. And our client, he actually ended up going to the hospital for 5 days. And in total, we ended up spending a week and a half of quarantine, 32 days total in South Africa. And I'm telling you, like, this is the sickest I've ever been in my entire life. Like, I was coughing up blood. I was just waking up feeling drunk every day. Brain fog didn't go away for 2 months. I couldn't smell, couldn't taste for 2 months. Like, you don't know when you're going home. Because at the same time, all this craziness is going on in the world. And, like, we couldn't get on a plane ride home because we didn't have a negative COVID test. So we thought we were just stuck there. And, like, I don't know if you can imagine what that feels like. Bro. Like, 6 months ago, I just left my job. And I was dwindling down on the money and didn't really have much coming in. And we're stuck in this foreign country. And at the same time, this is wild. My dad calls me, stage 4 cancer, he's dying. My brother calls me, their baby, him and his wife, were having a baby. It passed at 15 weeks, first baby. My girlfriend calls me, breaks up with me over the phone, 2.5-year relationship. All at the same time. Literally 3 days has happened. And I can't drink water. I can't eat anything. I'm a 6'7". I'm literally curled up by the toilet, and my girlfriend breaks up with me on the phone. Bro, I'm as low as you can get. I'm
good.
I'm broke, out of shape, miserable. I'm losing everything around me. My back's against the wall. There's only one place to go. I had one night where I just felt helpless. The next day, I felt light. Why? Because there's only one place to go. And it was like this freeing feeling that I got. And we had a lot of really deep conversations back then. And one of the biggest ones is like, I remember saying this. I'll never forget this. Like, bro, you've done an amazing job growing your business, and I'm so proud of you. And I really want to do this. But I know I'll get to a point one day where I'm just going to need somebody's help, and the only person's help that I want is yours. And you need help right now, and I'm telling you, I want to help you. So why don't we just find a way to do this together? Because you're my brother, and I trust you, and that's the only thing we need. You have things that I need from you. I have things that I feel like I can offer. Like, let's just do this thing together. Like, I love you. We love this thing we're building right now. Like, let's just run at it. Let's sprint at it. Yeah. That first year, we like doubled revenue. Like, we had insane numbers, insane jobs. Like, we lost a lot being there for a month. We were supposed to film like Dak Prescott. We had like all these crazy things going on, lost all those jobs. But man, we had the biggest year yet.
That's lit, bro.
It's just challenge, bro. So no challenge, no change.
No, right. No challenge, no change.
You know, it's crazy because you pray God for change, and then you realize it took everything away to get it. Like, when I hear that story, it's like, dude, God had to take everything, literally everything, out of your vision in order for you to go to the next phase. And like, that's the shit that, I mean, I get chills. I'm like, I know what you went through.
He was doing this. I
was there. I was right next to you, behind you, in front of you, side by side, whatever the fuck it took, because I knew there was another identity coming out of that. And I had mine before that. So I was like, dude, this is going to be I'm over here like, nobody knows.
Yeah, this is what
nobody
you need,
knows.
Baby.
This is going to be dangerous. Like, I knew it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, that's what it takes if you want to be the best, if you want to be on top, if you want to go to that space, you're going to have to remove everything around it to get to it. You're going to have to sacrifice your whole fucking life.
And that next year, that's exactly what we did. Like, I think I lived on his couch like 90% of the time. I didn't even have a home. Like, I was on your couch or my mom's couch that whole year.
It's called X Games mode.
Didn't talk to nobody, wasn't going out, hanging out with friends. Like, we were traveling or we were editing. That was it, side by side, one table. 2 computers, 1 table, side by side. That whole year, we just crazy. Grinded.
I lost. Keep going.
No. I want to know your breaking point.
Yeah. I was literally about to get into that. I would say I had a couple, but I would say my biggest transition was 2021, and I had so many people that was just like, I just stopped talking to them because one of the reasons why I haven't reestablished any kind of partnerships is because when I want to make a choice, I just want to make a choice. And like what you guys have is rare, right? Um, but when my point is when I was like, yo, this shit gotta stop, bro. Cause I was like, I felt 26. I was starting to feel the 26 stuff creep in my mind, right?
Coming back.
Like, and I'm like, so I mean, cold turkey, outside of maybe like one person, I just stopped talking to everybody. I just was like, no explanation. This the point with the partner. No explanation, no why, no answering the phone, no nothing. Like to the point where the only way you're gonna see me is if you actually see me. Because I know you can't just play around with change, bro. The devil in your flesh is very clever, right? So I think it was 2021 where I was like, man, I'm doing great in everybody's eyes, but in my eyes, I feel like I'm like 4 steps back from where I need to be. And it's because of distractions. It's because of like I said, I'm a change giver, etc. So
What was your biggest distraction?
my biggest distraction, the people that was around me. And when I say the people that was around me, it's like I know how to say no to a lot of people, but like my closest people, it's like I don't. It's hard for me.
That
Even
soft
the,
spot.
even today, it's kind of hard, right? So that could mean what they need, what you want to do. You want to go travel here and let's go enjoy this. Um, so that's why I had to just cut everybody off, like everybody, anybody, my best friends, my brother, everybody. I ain't talked to nobody for like 7 months in a row, and they thought I was something, you know. But then when they seen my life like elevate in different areas, then they understood. And I felt like I owed some people some explanations, but I was just at a place where I was like, yo, I'm not as focused on business. I'm not as focused on my relationships. I'm not as focused on my children. I'm not as focused on God. I'm underachieving while it looks like I'm lit. And for me, I'm not a person that like, if I feel like I'm not lit and everybody feels like I'm lit, for me, that kind of just feels fraudulent to me. Like mentally and emotionally, I wasn't in the spaces where I needed to be. So that was just one breaking point. I could explain a whole lot of them. I had another breaking point when I was 20.
I want to ask you one more so like a breaking point in the relatability aspect of younger men, right? Because you're shaping young men. You're shaping us. We're younger than you, right?
Yeah.
Talk about a story that you feel like would really relate to men specifically of, going through it and understanding the other side of the door. Do you have a story or do you have like a breaking point that was kind of like that?
What's funny is because I've been with one female for a long time, intentionally, because um, I was blessed to kind of know what I had at a real young age. In reference to her, my wife. So I didn't really have to deal with a lot of like problems when it came to females. Like I never was the type of dude that was tricking or getting overly distracted by women. I never was like that guy. But the industry that I was in, so let's just say for you guys, and it may or may not apply to you guys, but I'm gonna tell you the story. The industry I was in at first, on top of my sneaker stores, I used to throw big events: LeBron James, Kevin Hart, Tiana Taylor. It just goes down the line. And what came with that was a lot of like distractions, bro. Like whether it's, you know, women, Like, and I noticed
Do you always look like you look?
overall, I mean, you know, a couple of pounds here or there.
That's him.
Yeah, yeah.
that
Overall,
dog.
like this is yeah, this been me. So, but again, in reference to that, like that particular subject, I always tried to stay focused because I knew what I had. But I hurt her before, not with like cheating or nothing like that. But one thing that straightened me up when I noticed the responsibility that I had over her and other people. You know, when you like the guy, which is annoying sometimes because you don't really have other people to talk to as much, but now I do. When you're the guy and you come from having to teach yourself everything. Like my dad taught me a lot, but life had to teach me a lot. So you make mistakes and bad decisions and many bad choices that hurt the people around you. And when one particular time when I hurt her, and I it's weird. I took a picture of her in the middle of the hurt because I had told myself, I'm like, yo, you could never hurt somebody this bad again, right? And I showed her the picture the other day. She was like, you took this picture? And I'm like, yeah, I took the picture. She said, why you take the picture? I said, because I always want to remember the worst person I was. And when I look at that picture, if my mentality or comfort ever want me to go back to that mean person, I'll always be able to look at this picture and be like, I ain't never gonna be that motherfucker. Like, never. It scares me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. And so as far as guys that if you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, just understand, man, all your decisions, they're not just for you. You know, you're gonna have to keep in mind that whatever you do, you responsible for the people around you and the people connected to you. So the one of the life-changing moments that can relate to this is like you're gonna have times where you gotta make choices, man. And the people that are around you that depend on you, all your choices are gonna affect them. And that particular moment when I seen how hurt she was, I was like, damn, bro. Like, you gotta change. And for me, I'm a firecracker, bro. You know what I'm saying? And my temper is like, it still is, but was like different. And if you make certain decisions, brash decisions, it could just hurt the people around you, bro. So I could go as deep as we can off camera, but I wouldn't say that on camera. But you gotta make sure that you understand your decisions, good or bad, gonna affect the people around you. And that was a change. That was my last real change moment. And I look at the picture on my phone because she was holding my son, and my son was a month. You know what I'm saying? Because like
It puts into perspective like the control you have over somebody's emotions when they're so close to you.
Yeah, man.
And how like tender that is. Because I realized that with my girlfriend, like she's very soft spoken, very pure. I can be very intense sometimes with my emotions. Like I know you may not see it, but like I get emotional with her because I'm able to like show that with her, be vulnerable. Not a lot of people get to see that side of me, but with that comes a lot of intensity too. Mm-hmm. And I see how I can make or break her day so easily just by one conversation.
Or the people around you too.
That too.
The way I see it is you're at a stoplight. You got all these people stopped, or you got all these people going, or you got yellow lights. It's like we all hit green, we all crash. Right. You got some people that are at a stop sign or watching the green light go into the next thing. Like, it's really hard to overthink, but I've also understood if someone stays with you and there's an overthinker, that means they really fuck with you because they've already thought why they shouldn't be with you, and they still decide to be with you.
Yep.
It's like I love overthinkers. I'm an overthinker, but it also can create chaos. But I think it is important to, look across the room, and I think that's hard because I think life has designed us to be selfish. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that will make those bad decisions, and do they really care? No. If they already know the decision they're making, they're just choosing to do it anyway.
Let me continue what you're saying because I use her for what changed me, but those same decisions, like for an example, our social following. How many celebrities have we seen make terrible choices and it just tear down everything that they built? It tears down their family. It turns it. Damn, I thought she was.
Shout out Kanye.
You know what I'm saying?
Diddy.
Yeah,
And I
Kanye's
thought
first.
they was. Well, like you people that you like they some stand up people, and then you find out, damn, they won't even write for real, and the level of impact that we have. So what that taught me was the level of impact that I have goes way further than just the people that's close to me. So my actions in let's say Osaka or Dubai or whatever, and if you not solid and then something you tear people that like if you make a mistake, a bad choice that and people find out about it, bro, you know how many people you're gonna hurt. You know how many people that look up to you guys. So if y'all split or if you give up on your dream or if you underachieve, you know what I'm saying? If you don't run a marathon, you're gonna really affect and impact people that you don't even know. So that's what I mean. Like that moment in 2021 was like, your decisions ain't your decisions, bro. Like if you make these terrible choices or be this douchebag of a person one time, the way that people see like how you affecting other people's lives, you're gonna hurt a lot of people, bro. Yeah. Like people don't understand how much of an influence, as you said, that you really are because you just being yourself.
Exactly.
And then you just you mess up on something. It's just I just messed up. No. Now people done seen that. Now you done let them down. You didn't know how big you was, did you? You know what I'm saying? You didn't know how big of an influence. And God forbid I would be able to. I had to learn. I would learn that lesson at the wrong time. I think I learned that lesson because my impact right now is decently substantial, and I wouldn't want to be that same person in 2021 going into 2026. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that lesson, and I take that. So for any guys or any women that are watching this, you know, when you start coming up on that ladder, your decisions, you know, can really impact a lot of people, man. We are examples. We are people that we are flag carriers for positivity, for comeback stories, etc. And you don't want to be that guy or that woman that, you know, just out here living, you making money, and then next thing you know, you make 2-3 bad decisions and you done let 10, 20,000 people down. You know what I'm saying? They was looking at you like they shining light. You know, we just responsible for more than what we think, bro.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Because our humility sometimes cannot make us understand how impactful we really are. And then you find out if you like really mess up, then you be like, I ain't even know. You know, this person was looking up to me. This company was. So yeah, that time in 2021, bro. And I took the picture and I look at the picture randomly on purpose because the more successful you get, the more access you get. The more access you get, the more dangerous life becomes because that's when self-control and accountability is really important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could just keep going, but
that's an important piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Important piece to life right there, especially somebody that's gone through certain aspects of it, you know. In the weirdest way, I know this is going to sound just absolutely terrible. Hurting people saved my life, though. Now, I know that's very interesting.
No, I feel
clickbait,
that.
right? I had to hurt somebody to realize I'll never do it again. And that's the unfortunate thing. And I've been the person that's been hurt. But at the end of the day, I've forgiven that person. You know, and I think I posted this one time. I'm sorry to my ex, but I'm grateful for my other ex. And I forget how I worded it. But
I think I've seen that post.
It was a long time ago, but it was more so like...
How long ago?
6 months. It was on TikTok. I don't think I posted it on Instagram, but it was more so like...
Sure. You posted something about an ex then on Instagram. I seen it.
Yeah, I'll be posting some.
A few of those.
Walk past.
Hey, we're going to do something today, though. Don't you worry. We're going to test some theories.
Yeah, let's do it.
But yeah, I think, unfortunately, like, you know, you break people in order to see either that you will or won't do it again. And I think that's the only way we really learn as human beings, unfortunately. That's the...
And then you find that person that doesn't give up and you work together. Like me and my girl should have broken up 10 times already. But what keeps us together, we can communicate. She truly supports me and wants the best for me, even if we're not together. And I want the same thing for her. And that's so rare to find in a partner, in a business partner, in a relationship. It's the same thing. Like a business partnership is a marriage. You got to communicate. You got to think about each other's feelings, approach.
Finance.
Like it's so many
fight
things.
the right way.
Well,
Yeah.
I think everybody talks like I love this word, but like everybody like communication's key. It's like no, comprehension is everything.
Yeah.
If I don't understand what you're telling me, then we didn't do anything in here for the last hour and a half.
That is
Doesn't ma-
communication, right? You're not communicating if you're not
No, it
comprehending.
is, but I think a lot of people are just
they miss that.
listen to respond, right? Instead of listen to listen. And I think that's the key is the reason your relationship is where it is because you sit and actually listen to words versus trying to manipulate what she's saying to fight back,
And be right.
and be right or prove your point, right? And it's like you do a really good job of going, okay, how do you actually feel? For me, like fire used to just light off when someone would correct me or challenge me or approach me. I just like I can't even think right now. I'm like, my hair's burning off the top of my head right now. Like
Reggie's in there. Check that form real quick.
and it took me years to get out of that, but I know we're like wrapping up at the end of this. We do a thing at the end of this podcast, Reg, and we're gonna have to do take 2. We're gonna have to do a podcast number 2. You're gonna have to drive another 2 days out here.
Or you guys be able to come to the headquarters.
Let's do it, bro.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I want to come check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And one I want to talk about. I know it's quick, but bro, we didn't even get to tap about like I want to know all the business side of what you do. I know you do all kind of cool shit. I don't know if we do that right now, how much time you got, or we do that on phase 2.
I told you, bro. I drove 3 days to get out here, bro.
3 days now.
I just like to tease you guys, but yeah, we could talk about all of that, bro. Like I'm here.
What is Reg pursuing?
So
my first dream?
My first business, well, the ultimate dream is to change the trajectory of my last name, right? So I'll get into business in a second.
Love that.
So on my dad's side of the family, last name is White, right? It's tons of us. Tons. I'm talking at least 95 to 110 last name White, right? Mom's side, 0. My mom died 5 years ago. She was the last one. And her side of the family, a lot of them struggled mentally, right? From different things, etc. And I'm literally the last Spencer, right? Which ties into when I told you I want to have way more sons, right?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5. I want 5. Why? Because I'm trying to change the trajectory of my last name. The more sons I have, the further the last name can go. And then we go to business, etc. So when it comes to business, I started my first store with $2,600. Like I told you, I was making $300 a week. For my sister, and she was making her store. I started working for her. She was making $1,000 a week. She paid me $300 of that. Within 6 months, from her teaching and what I had inside of me, had her making around $8,000 a week.
What were you guys doing?
She had like a little store, a little store that sold jerseys and a couple pair of shoes and a few shirts.
Mm-hmm.
But she's from New York City, so they got a different hustle. And I'm from Virginia, but that hustle got inside of me. On top of the entrepreneurship of my dad. And within 6 months or so, she was making like $8,000 a week. So that's like over 30 grand. I was still making 300.
Yeah, it's
right.
big.
So I saved up my money for as long as I could. And I started my first one with $2,600 in a little flea market store, the size of this. No exaggeration. When I walked in here, I was like, damn, it's like the size of my first store. Like,
PTSD.
Literally, the register was right here, bro. I had my little radio. Clothes, shoes on the desk. That's it. 7 pair of shoes.
I love this.
And all of the principles that I learned under her. So that $2,600 wasn't just $2,600. It was, the rent was $600, so that's $1,200 gone. Boom. So it was only like $1,400 worth of profit. Of a product that I could profit from. Got like one favor from one of my guys. He had like some shirts and stuff. He gave them to me, like, bro. You know what I'm saying? Good, almost like a store warming gift per se. And I would say after 2 months, bro, because of what I knew, I probably was making about $3,000 a week, and 6 months later, I was making about $10,000 to $12,000 per week. I mean, I started taking off, but I'm young, so You know,
How old are you right now?
35.
Back then, what
I
age?
was 23.
Okay, 23.
Young. Yeah, I was
Young.
making a lot of money at that
Yeah.
age. Like that was a lot. That's a lot of money right now, bro. Like I was making like 600 a year from like 23 to like 27. I was making a lot.
That's so rare.
And it was because of what my sister taught me. So I ended up.
They tell everybody to go to college, huh?
Yeah. So
Get out there and fucking hustle. Is what he's saying.
yeah, it's hustle. Like
That
think
dog.
about it, bro. If I can't fit in a supercar, but if I was to pull up in a supercar to a gas station, they're not gonna ask me what college I went to, bro. They're not gonna ask me that. They're gonna say like, "Are you like a what do you do?" Somebody might say,
How much money you make?
drug dealer. They might say whatever. Last thing they'll do is say college, right? That's the last thing. I'm not opposed to college. I think college, if the parents teach the kid how to go and set them up right,
Mm-hmm.
it's good.
Yeah.
But how often is that?
It's not the end all be all. It's not the magic pill.
Yeah. So, with a lot of trial and error, a lot of failures, right? Didn't know how to manage people. I'm such a solopreneur at that time, right? And so I ended up getting like 3 flea market stores, right? And I'm trying to manage 3. I got, 2 workers here, 2 workers there. I'm running one by myself. Ended up losing 2 out of the 3 because I couldn't handle the people. I just wasn't a real live leader at that point. So I ended up just running one store for a long time till I was probably 28 years old in the flea market. And when I'll be moving around, people would never know that I was in the flea market because it looked like I was like on a different level because it wasn't because I was trying to act like it was just who I was, but I still was in the flea at 28. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, and it's funny because I was making good money, right? Enough money to make you be absolutely happy. That's a problem though. But again, I'm a madness person. I had this one guy. I was like, bro, I need you to like put me on and take me to the trade shows and introduce me to these people. I was real cool with him. Real cool with him. He was like, I mean, real cool. Maybe one step down from cool of you guys. So like, you see how close y'all are? One step down, right?
Baby step.
And I was one step down. So that means I'm real close to this guy. I was like, bro, put me on. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, bro, I could do it, but it'll run you about 25,000. I said, what? I said, you gonna charge me to put me on, bro? He was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cool, but we ain't that cool. That was one of my first like stabs because I'd done a lot for this dude. And then he said, bro, like, you don't even need to leave. You can stay in the flea market forever. You see these dudes, they 45, 50 years old, they making this much. When I heard that, bro, I was like, yo, what are you doing with your life, bro? Because I'm the type of person, I can change on a drop of a hat. Nobody can make me change. But once I say I want to change, I said, you think I'm like these? I ain't gonna use the word that I said. You think I'm like these guys? I didn't say that. I said, you think I'm like these guys? He was like, bro, like you making money, bro. Like what you trying to level up for? Like we make more money. Da, da, da. And that day it changed me because I started staring at the people in there. For me, don't make me look at you. Just be normal. But once I look at you, like see you, then everything changes. So I'm walking around and I'm like looking at all these dudes. They 45, 50, 52. They all making money. But I'm like, yo, I could never be these motherfuckers. Ever. And that lit a fire under me, bro. And from that moment on, I opened my first store like 2017 corporate. And when I say corporate, it's like in the malls. And I just never looked back, bro, because I was so petrified of being a 45-year-old in the flea market. I was petrified. And at that point, obviously I still went through trials and tribulations, man, but that's what really birthed my stores, that conversation. I opened a store in 2017, and then I opened another in 2018, then I opened another in 2019. COVID, you got to chill out. Then 2022, I opened like 7 in 1 year. Because what happened that
And these are just shoes, or this is
sneakers
like
and clothes. So if you go on Instagram and go to Pursuit 101, it's clothes and shoes, accessories. Just like if you go to a butter store out here, just imagine that better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Marble floors, whole deal, right? Thousands of shoes, dozens or hundreds of pieces of clothing and stuff like that. So, what birthed the big burst with the stores? Ooh, to this day, I still feel like I'm coming back from this L. 2020, what we in 25, right? So this is 20.
Don't ask me, Chris.
I'll be forgetting.
25.
It's 2020. So the birth of a lot of stores happened in 2023, January 2023. So we had crazy Christmas, doing great, whatever. This is post COVID at this point, but business is great. You know, when they put all the fake money in the market, everybody thought they was rich. Money, yeah. They just blow it. That's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because they give y'all the money and you just go spend it with the people that's producing. Like, so that's how I go. Anyway, so we're doing great. I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm about to. This mall that I was in was a failing mall, but we were going up. But I knew I had to make a move, so I decided not to do like a long-term lease. It's called MacArthur Mall in Norfolk, Virginia. I knew I didn't want to do a long-term lease, but I didn't want to go because I'm in a corporate / hood area, so I got both coming, and we got all the shoes, all the clothes, we got the whole thing. So people gonna always want to be fly. So I didn't want to get a 5-year lease, so I decided not to do a 5-year lease. I stayed on a 1. January I'm like, boy, we just went crazy for Christmas. I'm gonna just pay the whole year off rent on January. I come, cashier's check, big boy cashier's check, $100,000, right? So they like, did you get that letter that we sent you? And I'm like, nah, I ain't get no letter. She's like, well, we sent a letter to the store and we sent you, we can't send an email, it's a certified letter. Okay. It's like, nah, I didn't get it. I said, but here goes the rent for the year. And then she was like, for the year? I was like, yeah, for the year. And then she was like, well, just hold on to that 1 second. I'm going to get Mr. Warford. I'm like, okay. Mr. Warford is the general manager over all the malls. So you might got Simon Properties, whoever. He's like the general manager over a whole lot of malls. He come out there. This is my guy. Mr. Warford is my guy. When I first opened the store in there, we had a big contract issue. Dude had dust all through the mall. I'm about to have and at this point, I don't even, so they got to call the people that mitigate the risk and clean everybody's store. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go out of business before I even open. Mr. Warford's like, don't worry about it. Give us $500 a month for a year. You good. I'm like, damn. So this is my guy, right? He come out. He's like, what's up, Reg? How you doing, man? He was like, you didn't get that letter I sent you? And I'm like, no, I didn't get the letter. What is this damn letter? He was like, let me go grab it for you. He go, come back out. He said, man, before I let you read this letter, I just want you to know I did all that I could. So at this point, I'm like, damn, I don't know what's going on. So I read the letter, and the letter basically says, according to the lease clause into a grandfather in client, we are having to effectively terminate your lease, and you have 5 days to move out.
What was the conflict?
So I read the letter and I'm like, what's this mean? He was like, man, there's a company in here, I can't really say their name, but they're grandfathered in. They've been here since the beginning, and they have a clause in their lease that basically says if their revenue has been in decline for 18 months or longer due to different stores in the mall, and then they can prove it, right? They can prove it that their store is declining because of a store that sells the same thing as them, and they're on a temporary lease, they can initiate this clause to have them terminate their lease. And basically, if the mall doesn't abide by it, they can sue the mall. So to tie back into what he was saying, I've been fighting for you. Remember, I told you, he said, I've been fighting for you. They've been trying to do this for a little while. So I said, so I got to close my store? He was like, yeah. I'm like, well, for how long? He was like, permanently, bro. So so that's why the lady didn't want to accept my rent check, because she already knew what was going on. I just never received a letter. So I'm sitting there, and so now his countenance is just completely different. He like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. So I was like, hold on. Are you saying I have to close my store down, bro? First of all, this is the premier mall that everybody wants to get to in our area at some point in their life. Like if you make it in McCarthy, if you get to McCarthy Mall, you done got there, right? And I'm like, I mean, this all happened in 10 minutes, bro. So I'm like, what the fuck? He said, well, this is what I'm gonna do. You have to close in 5 days, but I'll give you as long as you need to get the store, vacated. So I'm walking back to the store. I go to the store with my little check in the bag. And I'm like, how in the world am I going to tell my people? Now, keep in mind, this store makes me $4 million. It's a $4 million store, bro. And I got to just close it. And I got 15 employees there. So at this point, I got to lose 15 employees. 2 of them are true believers. They go back to what I was saying at the beginning. I'm devastated, bro. I'm devastated. So I come in the store. They was like, Reg, what's up? They don't know what's going on. Reg, what's up, man? How you doing? And I dap them up, and they see me. And I'm like, because I didn't want to hide it. They see me. They like, what's wrong, bro? I was like, man, I'm going to talk to y'all in a minute. I go to the back, and I felt like this wild emotion come up. So before I let the emotion come up, when emotion is high, logic is low. So I called Mr. Warford. I said, Mr. Warford, who did it? Who is the store? And he was like, man, I can't tell you that. I said, why you can't tell me that? He said, legally, I can't tell you that. So I said, is it Foot Locker? He was like, no. I said, is it Champs? He's like, no. I said, is it Forever 21? He's like, no. So I started thinking, okay, yeah, they wouldn't want to shut me down anyway because they fucking like conglomerate stores. I'm like a little store on the side, technically, when it comes to them. So I named a couple names. I said, is it Cream? He said, hey, man, I'm going to give you a call back later. That was his way of telling me who the store. He said, I'm going to give you a call back later. We'll talk. Never talked to him again. So I said, it's Cream. So I told you I'm from the street, right? And my brain clicks different at this point. I'm not who I am right now.
That dog clicks.
So I walk down there to their store.
In pursuit now.
Yeah. I walk down to their store and I look in their store, and I'm like, the first thing I said though? I said, damn, I really been fucking these dudes up. They shit look terrible. Keep in mind, they them guys at first. Cream is the top of the top. By this point, I don't know if they're gonna see this video. I don't really give a fuck anyway. But I see the detriment, and I was like, damn, I really destroyed their business. So they're the ones, because if I go in anybody's store, and keep in mind, they got to prove what they're saying. So if I go in a store and it's still lit, it's not them, or, it's either not them or they lying.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's them. Make a long story short, told the team like an hour later, and they, got girls in there, they crying, blah, 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 blah. So True Believer was like, well, what you gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I said, I'll let y'all know tomorrow. Come back the next day, prayed about it. I said, ain't nobody fired, bro. Ain't nobody fired. So I put everybody, all 15 people at 2 of the other stores that we had in the area. So now my payroll out of this world without the money, close the store. Then I birth all these other stores from that because I'm like, you think you're going to shut me down? I go in the bank. Store, another store, another store. I opened like mad stores, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, so y'all think, so you know how that go, the competition. Big and long story short. That was a good choice. It wasn't the best choice, but it was a good choice, right? And so that's what opened that particular L. I did that long drawn out story on purpose to say that L is what birthed all of my locations. Because I was happy. I was good. I got that store making that money. I got this store making that money. I'm good. But that L, but it taught me everything is your fault, bro. You should have read the contract better. Maybe your lawyer should have read it better, because it's in there. I seen it. They had to show it to me. And, but I was going to move anyway. But I wasn't ready to move yet.
Yeah.
So.
Not always ready.
That's what birthed my stores, and obviously other investments and stuff like that I got going on. But my baby is the stores. Now the content, that's my new baby. I got a baby that I want to tell y'all, but I can't say it. If y'all gonna produce it up here, I can talk to y'all about it. But I said it in there. You know what I'm talking about. That's y'all gonna be involved. You know what I'm saying?
Anything,
right up our lane in the first place.
Yeah,
it's another conversation that I haven't told you about either.
Yeah. So that's like a long story of like my journey. And again, man, it's been a lot of bad decisions in that process. Every decision I ever made that was bad, I've learned from it. Coming up as I never use, like, I'm not the black guy that's gonna say, oh, what's the word they be saying? Basically, victim Olympics. I'm not a victim Olympics guy. I made more money than most people I know, right? And I'm black. I'm from the hood. My mama died from a drug overdose, bro. So it's not like, in my opinion, all that victim Olympic stuff, bro, you need to kick rocks. That's why I like Trump. Like, Trump just tell you what it is. Hey, man, your schools are terrible. What you got to lose? That's a fact, Jack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not that black guy. Like, I'm the guy that, like, I'm a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? I got all types of races of people around me, and that's what makes it beautiful. I'm a conservative. I wear the Trump hat before and won't nobody wearing it. I wear it. What you gonna do, bro? You know what I'm saying? One dude came up to me one time. I'm going way off topic, but came up to me in the gym. I had on the Make America, the Kanye joint though. This ain't not the one that everybody was cool with, the 47. This is the 2016. I had it on. He's like, bro, why you wearing that hat, bro? I say, what kind of energy is that you got, bro? Is that like a question or is like a different question? You know, I just want to know. I said, oh, okay, cool. So most people don't think, they just react. I was like, why shouldn't I wear that hat? He was like, because, bro, he racist. I said, he is? So I pull out the facts. I'm already prepared. I got the notes for these motherfuckers. I got the notes. So I said, bro, this how many songs black people put Trump name in it, 626. I said, this was his fiance, bro. I said, he got an NAACP award, bro, with Rosa Parks, bro. I went through all that. I said, what's racist about that? He did all that? Yeah, bro. He was like, hey, bro, where you get that Trump hat from? I was like, yeah. I converted him in the gym like that. So I don't even know how I got to that point, but.
No, I mean, dude, this is the thing I would actually, these are hard conversations that people need to listen and understand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's topics in the world that are just disagreements, but just disagreements doesn't mean that I am against you either.
Yeah.
Like, that goes back to opinions, but I think, like, we look at politics different because we have a client that's so connected in politics, and he kind of broke it down to us, and it's like, man, when you see it that way, if it makes money, it makes sense. We stop buying into all that stuff because, like,
100%, bro.
It's like when you push a narrative to make people go crazy or chaotic, like it's all designed for money.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you can go different lanes and you can find different information and use it how you want to use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's
because I'm not a forever whatever. I just, like you said, when you know different people, you get different perspectives. And, in any subject, you form your own opinion and then you leave room to grow from that opinion.
Well, like the Victim Olympics, right? Man, we work, and our best friends and family, bro, are Hispanic, Black. I mean, bro, our culture is all over the place, but having that conversation with people is not necessarily our place or our time to speak it. But, like, I don't know how many positions that we've been in where, oh, well, they had it easier, they had it harder, or whatever the case may be. It's like, accept your cards and play your cards. Like, I don't know any other way, and, like, it's hard for me to come say that, right, than it is for other people. But, like, I didn't grow up in the same hood. I grew up in a very easy life, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? Did I have different trials and tribulations? Yes. But am I able to talk about it? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you deal with the mindset of not being in the Victim Olympics? Like, what does that mean?
So the Victim Olympics is like, again, this is the part where I said I had to work on myself to be able to empathize and understand people process of things different. So just because a person is having a hard time with something doesn't necessarily mean they're in the Victim Olympics. For me, I'm like, bro, fix that shit. Like, this is your issue, let's fix it. And then it might take them a long time. But as far as people being in the Victim Olympics, it's like, everything is caused by somebody else. Because of this is why I'm not here. Because I come from this area, this is why I'm like this. Because I'm Hispanic, this is why I'm like this. White people got it better. All of that is bullshit, bro. Like, my thing is this.
Well, I think it is and isn't. This is me like having some kickback. Like, my dad grew up in a space that was hood, different things, right? I grew up in a different place, but you take a black kid and you throw him into our family as a kid, he lives a different life. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did grow up in a very healthy relationship with my family and different things.
Yeah,
so-
but that don't mean you're going to be successful.
No, you're
Sure.
correct.
That's my point.
Okay, yeah,
Sure.
okay.
That's my point. Just because you come from whatever doesn't mean you're going to be successful. You know, you mentioned how your dad was.
Mhm.
You got a brother?
Yeah, I got an older brother.
We heard that. I'm not going to say it the right way of this specific quote, but because you got two brothers, not saying you and your brother, but you got two brothers. The dad was a ex terrible person. One brother, he's the ex terrible person because of the dad. The other one is absolutely opposite because of the dad. So it's like, it doesn't matter where you come from, bro. Because I know people that when we was in high school, their parents was millionaires. But I look at them right now,
Drug addicts, alcoholics.
or they just regular people that wasted everything they was given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I also know people that was from the same area that I was from, or different areas that are similar, and we both went to different paths. He turned into something terrible. I turned into something great. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there are certain advantages that your parents are supposed to afford you, man. But, man, we live in the best times in the history of ever, bro. You know what I'm saying? They got fucking mental apps. If you got some mental stuff going on, let's talk to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got social media. You got different networking possibilities. I just don't believe in all of that victim stuff. Like, I'm a non-empathetic person, but I don't gotta stay like that. So I went to practice. Okay, so, I said that to you? Damn, I gotta work on that. So I go get a book, I read the book. You know what I'm saying? I talk to different people. That's a flaw. All my blind spots, I like to eliminate my blind spot, right? So if I'm non-empathetic, I don't gotta be like, hey, that's just how I am. Nah, bro, you gotta fix that. If you don't know how to make money, you from the hood, ain't nobody teach you nothing about socioeconomics or how to budget or how to do. Bro, go learn it yourself, bro.
There's access now.
It's so much access, bro. Like, think about any issues y'all had or have. You got the ability to do something about it. If you don't do nothing about it, that's called being in the victim Olympics, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, do something about whatever issue that you're having, because we living in the best times ever. We in the best country in the world. If you don't think that, I got a lot that I could say that I won't say on camera.
I'll
but
say it for you. Go travel another country.
No. That's not what I was gonna say.
Oh.
I was gonna say, give me your passport. I'll give you $100,000 or $10,000. We take your passport away and go live over there, bro. Bye. And then you about to see what's up for real. You know what I'm saying? I go to Colombia, I'll be like, hell no. I could never be over here. I don't care if it's, I'm gonna say this, you know, some people gonna see it, they ain't gonna like it. I don't care. But okay. Oh no, I want to say that, bro. I'm gonna say it, fucking. All right, I'm black, right? They say they brought us over here from Africa, right?
Okay.
Our ancestors, all the, you know, I respect. But bro, I'm happy I'm over here, bro. I would never want to be in Africa, bro. I know people.
Have you been to Africa?
I got people that work with me that live in Africa that tell me how it is.
Have you been to Africa?
No.
I've been 3 times. He's been once.
I haven't been, but based on what I've been told by the people that are really close to me, and I can go figure it out for myself. Yeah. I want to be in America, bro. I'm happy to be an American, and I want to stay in America. I would never want to go renounce my United States citizenship and go live in Africa.
Dude, the chef, when we were in Africa, the way and you're going to correct this probably because I'm not going to say it perfectly. He's not able to pull his money out of a bank. They're limited amount of money per day. So if he makes $800, he can only take out $20 a day in order to do certain things. That's how they control Africa. Is that correct? Right?
Yeah. They don't have enough money in their banking system for the money that they're making to be pulled out of. So like they're broke as a country. And so they pull from like the lower level people that are making the money basically.
So imagine making all that money and you can only get access to X amount of dollars for your family. So like you're trapped in this system where you can never grow, you can never elevate. And so like the black and the white racism over there is so bad.
It's next level.
It is so bad.
So violent.
Bro, like we've never seen anything like it. Like we went over there and we were just like, you're white, you live in these mansions, and then you're black and you live in shacks. Like there's no in between and there's no merging. They don't fuck with either one of each other. And then we rode Harleys all the way down the bottom of Africa. And dude, we were driving at 4 a.m. We left to get all the way down to the bottom. And dude, we're driving in these motorcycles, and all of a sudden you'd see like we have our lights on the motorcycle, and you'd see these reflections out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you'd see African Americans or Africans walking to work. Bro, we don't even know where they were walking from. We're out in the middle of nowhere, bro. Like miles and miles and miles. I don't even know what they were walking to.
School, work, whatever.
Bro, it was crazy.
My videographer told me stories like that. He's black. He's from I forget which part of Africa he's from. But he basically was like, I had to leave because all of that, black take care of black stuff, it's not like that. He said, I tried to start a business. I went through the process. He said 4 months later, they took me through so many hurdles to the point where I said, I just don't want to do it no more, right? The following month, he said, bro, they took my business, bro. Like they took my business idea and they just took my whole model. They made me show all my paperwork, all of my plans. And then the reason they didn't want me to do it is because they took it and then they did it. I ain't saying that's how it is. It happens. I'm just saying, what's my point? I don't never want to go live over there, bro. It is what it is. I want to be in America, and I appreciate America, and I love black history. I love white history. I love Roman history. I love the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about these type of subjects, I kind of like go in. You know what I'm saying? But
we should though, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, hate is not going to win. It's never going to win. Like love is the answer, and I know there's tough love. People don't understand the difference. When I say something to him that's hard to hear, it's because I love him. It's not because I'm trying to hurt him.
But you need that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's love's going to win, not hate. I don't hate nobody because their skin color. I might hate someone by the way they carry themselves or they disrespect me. But even then, I'm not even going to hate you. I'm just going to keep moving how I need to move because I'm not going down to a different level.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's your kind. It's the people. Just because you white or just because you black, just because you're a black person don't mean you my people. You ain't my kind. You don't move how I move. You don't think how I move. We brothers more than you are, bro.
Because we align.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that whole color and that colorism is a disease, bro.
Well, I think it's a stereotype. Like I've said this before, and this is probably a hard conversation, but I don't think people are racist towards skin color as much as they are stereotypes. The way that I explain that is if I wear cowboy shit into a barbershop and I don't know nobody, I'm probably not going to get the most welcoming thing, right? Mm-hmm. If you take a country black guy, and you take him to a country bar with cowboy hat on and Wranglers, he's the most loved person in there. Mm-hmm. But if I walk into the barbershop with some dope J's on, and I say what's up to everybody, I'm loved immediately. Yeah. It's because I fit the culture of whatever I'm in, depending on what I'm wearing and how I carry myself.
Facts.
Right? So you take a stereotype of people, the way they act and respond, it doesn't align with how they were raised. That's why people don't like people. Because they might be the most genuine person. Example, you go talk to somebody that's covered in tattoos. How many times have you been in that position where that ended up being the nicest guy there? He looks like the scariest motherfucker there, though, right? So I really think, to me, it's stereotypes. Me personally, like you wearing a Trump hat, why'd that create such a explosion? Mm-hmm. Because it was a stereotype. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
I agree totally. I talked to my people about this as well as far as stereotypes. Your uniform matters. What am I saying? No, check me out. Your uniform matters. So I'll use a drastic situation.
Let's do it.
If a female came up to you with her titties out and the ass popping, what uniform is that?
Stripper.
She could be like a genuine, just innocent angel. But what uniform is that? If a guy got tattoos all on his face and you walk outside your house, and you're gonna look at him like, what uniform is that? You have to present yourself properly. It ain't about, oh, I'm going to just be who I am. No, man. You need to present yourself the correct way. If I'm talking to my people, bro, you got nappy dreads, bro, when your pants sagging. I don't know how intellectual you are. Because of the uniform that you're wearing, I have to assess the situation. Don't judge me. I can't help it, bro. Like, your pants sagging, you looking like a certain type of situation versus your pants could have been up, your hair could have been nice, da-da-da-da. So sometimes the stereotypes are bad, but sometimes people cause them themselves. Now, if you're not causing, like if you just solid, even if you ain't all put together, you just carry yourself a decent way. If you're a woman, let's just say you got big breasts, you got a big booty, you got a nice body, but you carry yourself in a decent way, no one is going to, what's that word that they try to say, sexualize you, right? Because you carry yourself a certain way, you're wearing a certain uniform. But you could have switched that whole thing up. And it's not me stereotyping you. It's like, bro.
It's awareness.
Well,
or the girls in the gym. Bro, you know what you wearing. You wearing the shorts that's just holding the booty crack. You know the dude's going to stare at you. You can't be like, you know what I'm saying? I be talking to my wife about that all the time. I be like, bro, these girls be knowing what they doing. Oh, yeah. They know what they doing. You use us. Let me not say what I was about to say. Let's just say the uniform you wearing going to make me look at you a certain way, like you're a certain type of female, right? Versus if you could just choose not to do certain things, you know, and that's life though. If you don't understand that how you represent yourself, that you just gonna wear what you want to wear and move. No, you can't do that. That ain't, and then, cause then you get mad when somebody stereotype you. I don't know what your brain like. I ain't heard you talk, but you came over here and you bouncing your Jones. And I could tell you selling. Like, nah, bro, get out my face. You know what I'm saying? Or same thing with the guy. If you talking to a person and you look in a certain way, I can't help but to address you according to if you wearing one of them uniforms that make me look at you a certain way. It just is what it is, bro.
Well, that's what goes back to you can't fake muscles. Like, bro, when you're fit, I automatically assume you're disciplined.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a uniform.
I think with the women's side of things, there's a difference between sexual and sexy. Women can be very sexy in a very specific dress that's not showing off all the goods. That's sexy. There's another side of something that's sexual. Right. And I think that's the difference where social media gets confused is, okay, if I post sexual, I'm going to get the engagement. My dopamine's going to release. I'm going to get all these factors of attention.
Because a lot of simp boys.
Well, even then, even the good guys are still looking at it. You can't take your eyes off of certain things. If I put $1 million on the table and tell you not to look at it, you're going to look at it.
Facts.
Sorry, that's the truth. You know what I mean? And that's where social media is. No matter how hard you try not to, it's going to be there.
You know what social media is?
It's casinos.
Yeah, but I was having a conversation last night. That's facts. It's why it's dangerous. That's why I make sure I focus on what I see on for social media and how much I'm up there and everything. Why? Because what social media does when you constantly looking on it and you're not controlling what you're looking at, social media becomes a soul tie. What do I mean? Let's just say, for an example, you're looking at social media and you're paying attention to, what this girl doing for her guy, right? She taking care of him a certain way. She speaking a certain way. Yes, baby, whatever you need, da-da-da. And you keep looking at that. Just by being a human being, you're going to be looking at your girl like, yeah, you don't be doing that shit for me. Then one day you might catch yourself like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Get that shit off your phone. Your girl is good, bro. But it's a soul tie because you keep, you know what I'm saying, like looking, and you can extrapolate that down to anything. You could be so focused on what you're doing, y'all could be locked in. You know what I'm saying? We got this goal. We ain't doing that. We ain't spending no money. We just locked into this goal for phase 2 and phase 3. And then next thing you know, y'all ain't gonna do this because y'all on a whole nother level mentally. But next thing you know, you see bro going here, he going to the Bahamas, he going to Bali, he lit in Dubai, da 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 da. And next thing you know, you be like, hey, Wes, hey, bro, man, we need to take a vacation, bro. We've been working hard, bro. No, dumbass. We locked in. Get off social media. Social media is the most gift and curse thing we ever had. It's a really important asset. We can't go without it no more.
Right.
Right? But you got to be mature because it'll become a soul tie to you and you won't pay attention to it. And some of the best people in the world, they just understand how to control social media, bro, because it'll get in your head. It'll get in your head.
I can fully stand up straight and say, yeah, it does. I mean, I can speak on it and I'm open about it, right? Like it consumes your dopamine release, your oxytocin, your serotonin. Like I think the other thing aspect of it is just comparison's the thief of joy.
Yes.
Right.
Bro.
One of the quotes I put on my social media is stop comparing your worst days to everyone's best days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what social media is a lot of people aren't being real anymore. And like, if you want to build a brand and you want to do things, you have to speak on realness. You have to speak on, hey, not everything is fucking great. Not everything is 100%. Like that's the content that really grows and exposes, that needs to be shared. Cause like one of the reasons we do what we do, bro, is because we've been behind the closed doors of the famous people that are on TV. We've been in those rooms where, wait a minute, Ellen DeGeneres is not a nice person. We've seen these things from so many big people in the world, especially from the social media platform, is like why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
If no one else is going to speak up about stuff like that and teach happiness and teach, mindset that's actually genuine and pure, then like we need to do it. I'm not going to sit back no more. And that's why we do what we do with the social media side of stuff. But it's all an illusion at the end of the day. Like me and you both talked about this. Like the stuff I'm posting right now, I have a bigger plan that nobody needs to understand right now. And that's perfectly fine. Like my text on my phone says, I gave you that dream for a reason. And it's a text from God.
Dope.
I don't need anybody to understand it. I need to understand it.
Yep.
So like whatever I got to do to get to where I'm going to go to help the people I want to help, I'm going to do it.
But that's what people suffer from.
Well, I think this is a topic actually I wanted to talk about.
Let me tell you real quick.
Yeah.
Read that text.
I gave you that dream for a reason. It says God on it.
People don't understand, bro. They care about other people's opinions way too much, bro. Like if God give you a vision, a dream, that's all that matter. But people don't really understand that. They'll say it, but y'all believe that like that's in you. Like, bro, I don't care what you say. Like, you think I'm dreaming too big? Matter of fact, I'm not even going to put it out there because I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I don't care about your opinion. I don't even got to say nothing because I know that God gave me this. He put this in my heart. But that's special. I like to make sure y'all understand from another opinion how major y'all thought process is, because I come across clients, again, I told you I turned down like 200-300 people to create the system I'm creating now, because I would come across people, like you said, you'd be like, damn, bro, you really give a damn about what somebody say about what you gonna do, and you let it stop you.
Mm-hmm. Or guide you.
Yeah, or guide you, or make you question yourself. Of course, you gotta, for the people that matter, right? But man, that's a strong quote. I had to stop you because it's just like, yo, though I live by these things, you guys live by these things, and like you said, you'll be having a conversation with somebody and you swear they live by the same thing you live by, and you be like, damn, bro, you really fucked up for real. Like in your head, you be like y'all go talk, you be like, bro,
brothers,
believe this nigga? God damn. And you be like, wow, and then it inspire you to do what y'all doing. That's crazy.
No, it's the one that I was driving the other day. I was like, man, I don't know how to word this, but I think it's super important. And then we're gonna do our closing after this. But if you feel like you're on social media and you're like, man, you're so judgmental to someone doing something. Say you watch a reel. Say I'm watching Reggie, right? I'm like, man, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. The real reflection is back at the other person, right? And they're going, I could do it better. That's the first thought process when it comes to content or communication out loud is, oh, I could do that better. The problem is you're not doing it at all.
Bars.
You're not doing it at all. So if you think you're going to be better than me, then you're going to have to do at least what I'm doing.
At least.
And so that's the hard part about social media is there's so much judgment of whatever I put out. It's really that you think you can do it better, but you're not even doing it in the first place. And that's the thing that's the hardest thing is putting your heart out there knowing someone's going to squeeze it. Shout out Brandon Adams. I love when he said that. He said, putting your stuff out on social media is someone grabbing your heart and letting them squeeze it. I was like, dude, that hit home.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, you put a bunch of vulnerable content out in the world, bro, and like you got to be extremely confident knowing the feedback you're going to get, because your pedestal's very high, bro. And not only are people expecting it to be high, they're also expecting you to fall from it.
That's the crazy part, bro.
And they want you to fall.
That's why they're watching.
That's why they watch.
It's crazy how
Even
that's
the
so
people that
real.
support you.
It's so real.
Well, the thing is, you're gonna have more people that want to see you fall than support you. Like, and then there's a phase once you become successful and financial successful and all these things, where then all those people that were talking shit want to support you. It's this cycle of different things.
What's wrong with human beings,
Bro, that's a whole nother
Like, you be
pod.
like,
That's a
bro,
whole
what's
nother
wrong with
podcast.
y'all, bro?
There's not right or wrongs, right? But there is.
There is,
But there
right?
is.
It's just like, damn, that's crazy how it goes. I mean, it's true. I mean, we've seen it in different areas, because I'm climbing I'm about to climb 2 new hills with the projects that I have going on. But that's true, bro. Like, and that's what stops so many people. They don't want that feeling that they seen somebody else get tore down in public after they built something big. They seen it. And it's like, bro, I don't never want that to happen to me. So they don't start. Right?
Most people don't start.
And then when you don't start, I mean, I just think, like I said before, those type of people, man, it's just selfishness, bro. Like,
That's the thing, is like, you have to push past that. I say this all the time, like, Reggie, go run. Well, the first thing you're gonna ask me is how far.
yeah.
That's not what I told you to do. I told you to run, right? And so, like, entrepreneurship is, you can't see the end of the stop sign, but people aren't willing to run and go through the hurdles and the concrete and the speed bumps in order to get to it.
It's not best man wins, last man standing. You just gotta keep going, bro.
So-
Drop the bar, right?
Yeah.
That's Hermosi right there.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep going, and that's easy to me.
That's why I
Like,
pointed to you, the marathon.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you might be mile 13, 15. Like, it's getting hard, but I just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and I'm not going to die. It's just going to hurt a little bit. So I just got to keep going. Like, that's simple to me. Like, when shit gets hard, we just got to keep going. It's going to work out. We're all here today because it's always worked out. So what are we worrying about?
Right. I don't have to worry no more. I feel like I'm floating.
Shout out to Zay.
Yeah, Zay, man, has changed our life, bro. I truly, like, there's a lot of people that get in this conversation and have these deep talks, but then you see them do one emotional thing after talking, I'm calm, I'm this, I'm that, and it takes all the credibility away, which is really hard to also not do, because, like, we all have this. Like, cool, we fuck up one time. It's not just a little fuck up like Joe Blow has over here for forgetting something. It is a massive, massive deal. You forget to call somebody back, it's a big deal to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's because we're so high up here, right?
Yeah.
So that's a struggle that I don't think a lot of people understand. But we do this thing, Reg, at the end of the podcast, where we each ask each other one question, and then we all have to answer it.
I like that.
It's kind of cool, right? So,
Yeah.
like, we have to take time. I know it's like, oh shit, I don't know what the fuck to ask them, but
I love that. I like to not plan.
yeah. So, like, even right now, like, I don't even know what I'm gonna ask, right? And Chris is over here like, please don't fucking pick me first.
I'm a little better on the spot these days, but
You are, right?
yeah. No, I mean, it's good, right? It's real.
Do you want to go first then?
I'll ask a question. Let me think about a good one for you.
I can go first. I think I just came up with
Okay, go
Go
for
ahead,
it.
pursue.
Go for it.
Today, what is one limiting belief that you still have to get over?
That's a big one. I actually struggle with that quite a bit, and now my confidence is at a level where it's probably the highest it's ever been, and just keeps going, obviously. But I still struggle with, like, imposter syndrome a bit. Like, I still see myself as that, like, 21-year-old engineer who's stuck in an office and miserable with his life. And, like, that was such a clear picture of my life because it was such a low period. And I haven't had that moment where I've, like, just really done what I wanted to do in life. And I don't know if I'll ever get there because we're all so focused on growth. But, like, I struggle with seeing myself as still that younger version at times when I know I'm not that person and I haven't been that person in a long time. And it's usually when, like, moments of weakness creep in where we're just sprinting nonstop. and I lose track of my fitness, and like I lose track of my relationship and communication a bit, and I'm not as consistent with the team, and like things kind of fall behind. I'm like, man, like, do I have what it takes? And then like it's just for a moment, but like it goes away fast, but it's still there from time to time. And like that, I struggle with that a lot, even though I know it's not true. And I'm like, I'm laughing at myself while I'm thinking it, but it's like it's still just there.
Yeah.
It's that impossible. I don't know.
Well, like I said earlier, as I see the chapter why it's happening, you don't. Like I see the growth period of you not being that person. Like, you know what I mean? I get to watch it, but I think you've just developed into this insanity, top excellent, the best of the best standard that nothing else will, like, you put yourself so high because you accomplish so many things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like your standard, bro, for how you do things is just it's excellence only.
Yeah.
You're not going to come down from that. You know what I mean? So I think like it's probably hard because we climb so fast, but we see back to social media of like how successful people are, and we've worked so fucking hard for so many years.
Yeah.
That sometimes we feel like our old self because we haven't technically moved into the next role of our success.
I struggle with grace. That's the word. I struggle with grace, and the perfect example is this is when I ran my marathon last year. I did not hit the mark, like I said, on what I wanted to do. I actually was nowhere near that. I wanted to get under 4 hours for my time. I ended up being at like 5 hours. Just finishing was a feat for me. I didn't post about it.
He wouldn't even.
I wouldn't even talk about it.
He was pissed at himself.
I wouldn't even look at the pictures that he took that day. I wouldn't. I don't even think I like reposted anyone's stories. I had a whole like 14 people there like cheering me on, and like I didn't reach out to them. I didn't do anything because I was like so upset with myself that I didn't finish what I started. I felt like
that goes back to the expert, right?
Yeah,
and excellence.
And that's a perfect example of, I think, every single time I accomplish something is I can never be satisfied with it. It's never enough. I can never have that moment where I'm just like, yeah, I'm proud of myself. Like that's hard for me to do because I always think about like, man, I could have done better here. If I just didn't drink Gatorade, I could have finished my last 6 miles. Like I could have done this better. Like it's never enough. That's my fault. That's also what keeps me going too. So it's like this battle within. So, it's a good and bad thing, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain is like you're so hard here where like if you feel like you don't hit this, you're your old version of yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
That I couldn't word it. That's the best way to describe it is like you see yourself here because you know that's who you are. But if it's not perfectly that, he's a perfectionist in the best way. He's an engineer brain type. So like it's got to be perfect. And so like if one little thing doesn't happen, it puts him back down into that same version of the unhappy old version of himself.
Yeah, like I look back in that race in the moment at 21, 22 miles where I like stopped for a second, and I know that was the moment where I just like I lost it, and I was like, you weak motherfucker. Like, why did you not just keep going? You trained, you did everything right, you fueled correctly, like all you had to do was not stop, keep going. And you stopped, and what happened? You fucked it up. And like I still think about that. Like it's weird. Like that's one of the most traumatizing things that happened to me because I set out to do something. I told everyone I was going to do it, and I didn't accomplish it the way I wanted to do it. And it drives me absolutely insane. But I learned something that day that I'm only going to be upset with myself if I don't give my absolute all. And that's something that I can control. If I don't give my all, that's on me. If I give my all and I still fail, that's a lesson I needed to learn. And I'm perfectly okay with that. But if I did not give 100%, then I will not sleep at night.
But I think that goes back to, those tests, right? If you step back now after you ran the race and you look back at the test, right? God's test.
Yeah.
Chris, I threw you in this situation. I messed up your stomach. Didn't want you to finish the race like you wanted. What do you see after you look at it that way? The perspective of going, what was the major test out of that?
He was telling me to look at the bigger picture of why I had that like urge to just accomplish this. It wasn't because I needed to prove that I was mentally strong enough to run a marathon. He was trying to show me a way how I could impact people. And by just speaking more and putting more of my life out there of the way that I live, how I can help others be happier, go after their dreams, change their life, things that I did for myself, other people were seeing inside of them just by sharing my runs and just by talking a little bit on camera. It's like the impact. And he showed me that yes, you can impact others by the way that you move, but if you speak, it's a lot louder. And if you go for something that's bigger than yourself, you have tremendous fulfillment. Like when I was running, the only thing that kept me going was all these people that were like cheering me on, like online around me. Like I was like about ready to be done the last month going to my,
wasn't an option.
I was done, right? But I had so many people looking up to me as like, bro, I got to do this. No matter, I break a leg, like I'm still running this marathon. I got to finish it somehow, some way. Because I got a lot of eyes on me, like you were saying. You don't know how many people you impact. And I did a lot of people disservice by not sharing that immediately after. And I still haven't really gotten vulnerable and shared that because it was such an important piece of my lesson. And maybe that's like something that is going to give me some like closure. And it's not like this, like I ran a marathon. It's not like I lost somebody here. Like
Well, no,
I talk
it's
about
a
it.
bigger, well, I see it as a bigger thing because I know you.
Yeah.
I think it's also God testing you and going, hey, do it anyway.
Yeah.
You're not going to have the perfect GPS to get to this location. I think that was the test going, Chris. It's not always going to be perfect, but the imperfections make it perfect.
Right.
You had the people there, you did it, you accomplished it, and it wasn't exactly what was in your brain, but maybe that was the lesson of going, give yourself grace. And then also, it's not the fear of judgment, right? It's not the fear of failing. It was the fear that other people are going to judge you while you failed.
Yeah.
To me, that's what fucks me up. It's not me failing about anything. It's the fact that people watch me fail freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking having a store, it's like all these eyes are on Reggie. It's like, I can't let people see me fail. Like if you failed your own business by yourself, you would like brush that shit off. It's the fact you had all these people watching Reggie. And so that's the thing I think God might have been testing you with, bro, is going, hey, spaceship has no rearview mirrors, bro. Like, we just got to figure it the fuck out.
That and like another moment, sorry to take over this question here.
No, this is good, bro.
Another moment that I'll have forever is my brother came in and ran the last like 4 or 5 miles with me because he saw me struggling. My mom was like, is he okay? I haven't seen him in a while. So he ran around the whole track trying to find me. And he stayed with me the whole time and finished that race. At times, I didn't know if I could get, like, I collapsed on the ground, and he was, like, feeding me, like, mangoes, and was like, bro, you got to get your ass up. Like, you got to keep fucking going. Like, you're going to finish this. Like, it's not an option. You got to keep going. And, like, me and my brother haven't always been as close in, like, our adulthood. But, like, we hadn't had a moment like that since we were struggling with, like, our parents' divorce where we just had each other at that time.
Yeah.
And it gave us a moment to think back to where we started and how we had gone so long without like having that bond. Like that was a moment that I will remember forever with my brother. It's like he went across the finish line with me, and he's probably the only reason why I finished that race. Like honestly, if I was by myself, I don't know if I was mentally strong enough to keep going. And that like meant so much. That was the beginning of our relationship together. And also at the same time, I'm a little brother. I'm always looking up to him. He's always, he looks up to me now, but before it was like, you need to do better at this. You need to do this. You're doing this wrong. Like he saw me up here that day. He saw his little brother go after something that just challenged the shit out of him and broke him down in every single way. And he kept going. And like, that was important for me because I've been just grinding for so long. And he didn't really get to be a part of any of that because he had his own family going on, like his own things he needed to focus on. But he got to see my struggle that day.
Yeah.
And he realized how long I've been fighting, and like we just had a different level of respect after that day.
Yeah.
And I get chills thinking about it because like I got my brother back that day.
Wow.
Well, he showed up for you.
He showed up for me.
And you can tell, like, no matter what, at the end of the day, that's my dog.
That's all I cared about. That's all I cared about. At the end of the race, I was like, fuck this race. Like I got to do that with my brother.
Yeah, that's powerful, bro.
That was powerful.
And the failure that you thought that failure was, you won. Think about that. Doesn't happen. You just finished the race. Good job, bro. That's it. Y'all relationship still the same.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the struggle, because of you didn't finish and you needed your brother, and you guys' history, whatever you guys been through, and to see that he was admiring you, like, damn, I know I couldn't do what he doing, and then you like, I can't do this if he not beside me. And it kind of just brought y'all back together, man. So like that failure for you was I didn't do it the way I wanted to do it. No, you did it exactly the way God wanted you to do it. Cause he brought y'all back together. That's
Amen.
powerful, bro.
Yeah,
Amen.
it's a great way to look at that.
Yeah. But you got to answer that one now.
Oh shit, man!
I don't even have the answer to the question. It just came out of nowhere.
I know. I'm like, I'm over here. I mean, I remember the moment. I mean, I saw you push past, and like I said, I've always looked at you as a superhero. So like, for me to see you in that position of just pushing past failure, bro, pushing past quit, was just a whole different intensity, bro. Like people don't know. Like we have these tattoos, like never quit, bro. It's for me only. It's why it's upside down. It's like that's what that means. And so I think it's important. You know, I hope you looked at that tattoo when you're running. You know,
I did a lot,
like
a lot.
That's it. That's just no quitting around here. You know. So I may break down the question again.
What is the one limiting belief that you still have today?
I think truly, man, it's for me. It's been, you know, people have loved me the most have also pulled me down the most. And you know, a lot of my life, I felt like there was chains that held me down until I broke them free, right? And I still think I'm in that position now because, like, I'm a dreamer. Like Chris can tell you, I'm a visionary. I dream. I already know what I'm gonna do with my life, but I'm not holding myself accountable to get there, and it bothers the absolute shit out of me. I know I need to be putting content. I know I need to be putting podcasts. I know we need to build the platform. I know we need to build the studio. And yes, I'm doing it in small increments, but it kind of goes back to Chris and like, I wake up and can't stop thinking about it. That's the issue. Like we're not at 0.1% better today towards the thing, but I'm not good with execution. I'm good at dreaming. And so I think for me, it's the thing I get so frustrated with myself is holding myself accountable. Because if I just listen to my subconscious mind every day, it'd be exactly where I'm supposed to be. I wouldn't be cutting corners. Wouldn't be asking for shortcuts. And that's what frustrates me. I think that's where I'm holding back. I don't know if I answered that correctly, but that's
No, you did. That was great. Yeah.
It's just it pisses me off because I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be on stages. I know I'm supposed to help people. I know I'm supposed to bring more people together. I know me and Chris are going to build this life-changing experience that has nothing to do with business, but creates business for other people to enjoy the life that we live or help them live the life they want to live. Like we've been on both sides of the fence, bro. Yeah. Engineer, construction. You know how many people wake up every day and exist? I don't want to do that. I want to live. Living. Livin.
Right.
Like I say this all the time, bro. I'm 30. I don't even know how old I am. 32. I wouldn't trade one day. Bro, every day we live the little. I wake up. I'm like, what do I want to do today? It's the coolest feeling in the world. But I can't imagine waking up for the next 20 more years doing something I don't want to do. And how many people deal with that every day? That freaks me out.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to be able to pull enough people into believing in a community again and going, hey, you can live a dream. You just have to put some work in. And you got to have the right people, and you got to put the steps in, and you got to get clarity of the life you want to live and clarity of the identity of who you want to be. You're born with your name, and what's the two things you're born with?
Your word.
You're born with your name and your word. Like, I don't know. My question is going to be back to something around that. But anyway, that's my answer.
Yeah, bro. That's because when the question came, I didn't have an answer. It just came. So I'm listening to you guys, and I'm thinking and listening like, what would my answer be to that?
So what you got?
And that lets you know when it's genuine. So I would say it's
Well, ask me the question again so I can ask it back to you.
What is not only, but what is one limiting belief that you still have today?
What is one limiting belief that you still have today?
I still wonder if I'm going to be able to become the person that everybody knows I can become.
So just explain it.
So I know that I'm supposed to be, again, what's your why? Change the trajectory of my last name. That means so many things, right? That means, how my children end up. That means what legacy am I going to leave behind? Sometimes I just wonder with that, because being an entrepreneur, anything can happen. I lost $4 million in one day, for an example. in 2023 that I explained y'all that story. And it's like, it's a constant threat of that. It motivates me, but at the same time, it like concerns me. And I'm just like, man, because that's why I look at my family on my dad's side, and none of them have anything that I would want as far as legacy is concerned, not even one person. So I'm like, damn, I'm trying to do something I ain't never seen before, like from my own people. And I just be so nervous about that, you know? And I know and like I said, it motivates me too, but I just be like, damn, are you actually going to be able to, you know, because there's a lot of things I don't know, right? And you learn, like for an example, I was, the meeting I have with the trust company today. Nobody never taught me about these things, right? I seen a lot of people lose everything they have because they didn't have it organized and stuff like that. But it's like, damn, I don't even know about that. I got to go learn about that. I got to learn, you know, anything when it comes to how your money's supposed to grow. I've learned so many different things, and my money's in different areas, index IULs, all these different things. But I just had to teach myself so much, and I just be like, man, you know, you might not make it to the ultimate place where you wanted to be. Then I got to shake that limited belief and be like, nah, bro, like you going to figure it out, you know, because when it's almost like a person that wants to have a family, but everybody he know divorce. It's like, bro, you might not, I ain't never going, I don't even know how to identify with that. So when I'm trying to change the trajectory of my last name and leave like land for my family and like have a last name where the revenue continues to grow and my sons don't destroy it and turn them into, like I want to turn them into like great men. And not saying that other people might, because I got a lot of great men in my family, but legacy, I don't have that. Nobody's leaving a real legacy. And it's like, for me, that's my greatest fear and my greatest motivator, right? So let's say over time when you make choices that don't work out, it ain't necessarily a bad decision, but it's just like, damn, that shit ain't work out. That's gonna hinder that, you know. And so for me, it's just like it's like a pressure, but it's also just like it never allows me to, you know, relax because I know what it is to take humongous losses and could just mess your whole shit up. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like a limiting belief of, can you really do it, bro? Can you really,
Doubt.
you know what I'm saying? Like, can you really, like, I got friends, right? They own 3,000 acres and all of this stuff they own. And they older and but what's the point of that? It ain't about how much money they got right now. It's about they set up generation after generation after generation. And I don't want to be that guy that's, you know, the black person that's just lit while they're alive. No, I want to be that, bro. I want to be the person that's like, you know, the Spencer name is a household name for 200-300 years. You know what I'm saying? And my sons teach their sons and stuff like that. But the limiting belief is like, damn, I don't have an example that I can actually touch like my people. So I think about that a lot, you know. And like I said, it motivates me, but it also puts a little bit of fear in my heart because we only got but so many more years where we could be producing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, even then, you days, bro. That's the thing that.
Say it again.
Nothing's guaranteed, bro.
Nothing's guaranteed.
You know,
right?
And that's the scary part. That's like 24-hour period is how we live our life.
Yeah.
You know? But you said something I want to count out to everybody or put in perspective here. You've said, "What's your why?" Probably 5 to 10 times in this podcast. I think that's what you teach, bro, to your family. You have clarity on your mission, bro. Most people don't have a mission and clarity that defined. Like, bro, this is part of our thing we do. Like, what's your mission? I don't know. You have dialed this in so clear, bro, because if you help your family identify their why, money's coming, bro, because you've helped them identify what they're going to be great at.
100%.
And so, like, I think, bro, like, that's part of your legacy is just helping them do that, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, because, like, how many people do we know that have the money and the legacy and the generational wealth, but their kids end up being little fuckers? or different things, you know. And so it's the lesson that's just the most important puzzle piece out of there is, you know, not teaching them how to fish, teaching them how to catch, you know. And so I think that's the thing is like, bro, the way you carry yourself, the way you're going to navigate with kids and family, bro, like they just keep learning how you move and being that leader, like they're going to keep that name going, bro.
Yeah, bro. And thank you for that. And that's the part. And as we end it, you know, everybody has a personality type, what motivates them. And for me, it's like, bro, it's two things. One is anywhere but backwards. Like I got to be moving forward, sideways. I can't go out. I'm like petrified of like by my own decisions to go to my second point. I don't like learning the same lesson twice, bro.
Fool me once.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Shame
about
on
that.
you.
My choice.
Right.
I don't like that, but I've experienced it. So it's just like, damn, you know, it makes me sharper, you know, and what I learned is that the limiting belief has faded a lot because I concentrated on one thing. And I said it earlier. Changing my heart posture. When I start reading my Bible and being consistent and talking to God and fighting off certain thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when you continue to win with your heart, bro, like those limiting beliefs begin to like be less and less and less. And I think God uses those things to continue to help you develop a relationship with him. So I'm grateful for it at the end of the day. But yeah, if I had to answer that question, yeah, bro, it's just.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I answered my question wrong.
I don't even think I answered the
No,
question.
you guys 100% answered your question.
Well,
bro.
I think mine will always be not enough. I think I'll always have that driver. That's the thing that'll push me to success.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in a way we all kind of have that.
Yeah, like I mean, you know my background, but that's my driver.
Yeah, we should talk about because I feel a certain like level of growth that we all can have within each other of like just talking about stuff that, you know, you guys may have talked about, but you haven't talked to nobody else about it too much. Well, I've talked to somebody about it, but like I could just tell our life experiences are very similar in different ways. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm a type of person, I done had people cross me crazy, like crazy cross me, but they secret will die though with me. Their secrets will always die. I'm never going to say anything, ever. And I remember one time this dude that he knew he crossed me real bad, and he know who I am. And I made him pay for crossing me. But about 2 years later, he said, bro, I was talking to some people. You know what I'm saying? We cast it out.
Squashed
right?
it.
I mean, you had to feel it a little bit. I can just let you get away with it, right? But you had to feel it a little bit. But 2 years later, we talked, we squashed it. He was like, man, you know, I talked to like 4 or 5 people that we was close with. And I hinted around certain things to see if you spoke to them about it. And bro, you ain't never rat me out, bro. You ain't never say my business, ever. I say, bro, when I say I got you, bro, my loyalty don't just end when you do me wrong. I ain't never gonna speak on whatever you've been through, explain to me, whatever, like. He just shook my hand, and every time he see me now, this guy, he's
Respect.
Yeah, it's just respect,
Loyalty.
you know, and it's just like that's just how I am. I just said that to you guys for like whenever if we ever go down that route, it's just like secrets die with me, bro. Like I got some stuff in my head, and I got, you know, it's just like that's just something that I don't know. Loyalty has always been a big thing for me. That's why I take it so hard when somebody like be disloyal.
Yep.
And that's what I be having to pray about, like, because I'm like different. If you like,
you can't hurt me, but if I like put my trust in you and I feel like we have that loyalty and it gets broken, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm
and
emotional.
I ain't just emotional, but that's the part I be having to pray about. I'm emotional, and if I trust you like that, bro, you cross me, bro. I'm like a whole different. I just tell, I'm a different person, and that's what I had to pray about because I'm like, bro, you have to like, everybody not built like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you like this and you would, there's nothing that can make you cross another person. Sometimes stuff like that happen, and you can't just, you know, hurt them. You got to just take it, you know, and still don't let it change your heart though.
Yeah.
Still let it
Make
be,
it
you
cold.
still be a great person. That's how I can have a conversation with you guys and say what I just said. Like, bro, we could actually talk about several different things. It's because my heart, I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I only allow certain people to get to it, of course, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so yeah. But anyway,
Well, no, I mean, Greg's taught us, you know, you can't pay or, you know, you can't buy or teach loyalty.
nope.
You got to find out. And, like, unfortunately, you know, you do get burned, but that's part of life and it's part of growth. And you just got to keep moving on it. So, you know, my question is, oh, you're 36, right?
Yeah.
29. What's one thing now at the age you're at that you see differently compared to when you were younger that you think would be really a good topic for people to be open-minded, or something that you've seen yourself change now that you've stepped back and looked at the fishbowl versus looking through the straw at 36 and 29, that it's just like, damn, I did change, or dang, I did grow. Like, what would be one thing?
Excuses.
Well, you've never been a person of excuses to me.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, we met when I was 14, you're 18, you know, so like I have a lot of life that I lived before that. And I had a lot of excuses for things, you know, I'd sell myself on the fact that, you know, I didn't have to do this because I didn't want to do that, or like, you know, excuses was not necessarily a big part of my life, but it was a big part of like someone else's life that was close to me. And what was your question one more time? Just so
Actually, I
stay on
want to
track.
change my question.
That was a great question.
Yeah, I like that actually.
Oh, here's my other question. Y'all can pick.
We'll double up.
What's the one thing right now in your life you need to let go?
It's a good question too. Continue, bro.
I'm lost now.
So we'll
Those
bounce
are
it. The
both-
first question. Say the first question.
First
again.
question is basically, what's the one thing you feel like you've grown, looking at yourself now at 36 and 29, that you've actually seen the real change or the open-mindedness of something that you used to think and now you don't? Or you've been open-minded to a different eye-opening?
I hope I answered this, but like I still stick with excuses. So like I had a lot more excuses like 10 years ago than what I do now. So like 10 years ago, I wake up and be like, oh, I'm sore, you know, I'm not working this out today, or like, oh, I'm tired, I'm sleeping a little bit more, you know, stuff like that. But like when you're tired, you know, I'm always tired now these days. I thought I was gonna have a perfect day or perfect life one day where I wake up and I don't have to be tired. I get more and more tired as the days go on, right? That's never going away. It's gonna get worse. But like there's always an opportunity for excuses, and those are there because they're there for you to say, fuck these excuses. And that's when you grow. And that's when I've had the most growth, is when we've worked 12 to 14 hours in a day, and
For 3 days.
we
straight,
haven't
4
gone to
days
the
straight.
gym, right? But I have 30 minutes and I can go to the gym. I'm dog tired, but I can still go work out. It's not going to kill me.
What's the one thing you need to let go of right now, Chris?
I need to let go of this like younger version of myself that's not me anymore, and stop thinking about it. Like I've always reflected on it because it's like helps me gauge where I'm at now. But like if I just let that go, I'll really see like where I'm supposed to be headed instead of looking back. Right? If that makes sense. I don't need that comparison anymore to know that I'm like so much further ahead than where I was. But I
Yeah,
still
and
think
then-
about it.
And then give yourself grace too, bro. Like, I know we've talked about 29 years old. Like, shit's going to hit when it needs to hit.
Yeah.
And like, we're on the path. But I think
logical.
the next goal is just look at that future self, bro. Like, I don't even remember my old self. Like, it sounds ridiculous. Like, I'm so upset with myself, more of my future self, because the future self is going, hey, quit fucking around, get this shit done. That's the thing that bothers me. It's the opposite.
Yeah, well, I kind of have that too. It's like
No,
when
you
you were telling us the answer to his question earlier of like, I know all these things that I need to be doing, and for some reason I'm just not doing them in the capacity I know I can be doing them. Like, that's a part of my struggle too. And it's just like, why am I not just doing it? It's because I'm thinking about it too much.
Yeah, just do.
You know, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
But that's my answer.
Reg, 36. What's one thing in your life you feel like you've been able to zoom out of the lens and feel like, you know, you step back, you're proud of yourself, and you've changed a certain part of your younger self?
One, like I've never been the person to just drink. I drink when I want to. Like, even if everybody's drinking, if I don't feel like it, I won't. But when I drink, I turn up, right? But now that I've completely stopped drinking, like, as soon as I make up my mind about anything, it's like over immediately. I don't need to work on it. It's just stop, right? So being that I stopped drinking and stopped like caring about going out and being in the scene and stuff like that from time to time, I would tell my younger self, like, bro, stop right now, bro. Shit's fucking stupid, bro. You're wasting money. You going there well for no reason. You buying bottles and all of this stuff that you do when you're younger, right? And kind of just living it up, like, stop. But when you're younger, you're just having fun. You with like not every, but in the major scenes with major people. I never lost myself ever, but it's just a mere point of like, just in that life, you know what I mean? And it causes different hardships that you'll never have to go through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's arguments or, just being around people that everybody would love to be around. They'll love to be around Mayweather and all these people, but that's, it comes with a certain type of like, nah, I'm good, bro. So at my age right now, I'll just be like, stop. Cold turkey. This is something, you got the personality, just stop right now. You know what I mean? Because you just wasting. I felt like that was it's just like a waste, bro. It's just like a big waste for me. Repeat that question one more time because I had something else.
Which was the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you're 36. Think about a perspective change that you had from when you were younger to now, where you like stepped out and you're like, oh man, like I think differently here, or I am differently here.
Yeah. And another thing would be that money is a tool. It's not to just be spent. I think I've spent money. No, my investments are more than the money I spent at this point. But I just felt like if I knew that what money really is for younger, it would have just catapulted me in a different. I would be further for sure. Because remember, I've been making money since I was 23, 24, 25 years old. So that's 10, 12 years of just, if I had the proper guidance, no excuses. But if I could have just clicked, like, bro, money is a tool, bro. Don't just buy what you want. You don't need the foreigns. You don't need to travel to all these places and give all this money. I give a lot. I remember one year, I gave, for me, not for an average person, but for me, it was a lot of money. I mean, for the person that was been rich their whole life. But for me, I remember one year, I gave away $250,000. And I was super young, bro. And it was like, if you knew that money was a tool, you never would have did some of these things you did, because I just wanted to help or whatever. Like, so money being like drinking and partying, and also understand what money really is for. It's a tool. And once I understood that money was a tool, it changed a lot of things. But a lot of times your upbringing makes you move with money a certain way, right? It ain't no excuse. It just is what it is. When you come from where I come from, money isn't looked at as a tool. Money is a thing like, do you get what you want? You do what you want to do with it. Nah. Younger me, I would say, hey, bro, understand, you're supposed to work for you. You're supposed to do it like this. You're supposed to move it here, da-da-da. So now that I understand that now, hey, millions of people go through the same thing, but sometimes they never understand that money's a tool. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely tell my younger self that.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what chapter it is in the Bible, but he talks about putting stacks of bricks all the way to get to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I think of money and I think of iPhones. It's like, where are we really going with what we're doing, right? It's like, if you made $400 million in a lifetime, but then you got done with it and you wouldn't do it again, did you really want the 400 million? You know what I mean? And so I think you don't know what you don't know. Like, yep. You've made all that money, but at the same time, who would you go to for advice? Because you could have taken that money, invested it into people that you thought you trusted, and lost it all.
True.
Right? So there's like so many lanes of like, how do you really know what to do with your money until you get around the right people that have done it, that actually are pure good people to make your money make money, because dude, there's too many scams out there these days just to try to invest and try to scale your money. It's like, it's a very dangerous thought process too. It's like, it's a tool, but you got to be able to make sure you have the right things to work on it with, because if not, you're going to lose all your tools.
Yep.
You know, and like, we don't know that either. Like, I'm just talking from experiences of people that I know with money. I lost $100 million. I'm like, how do you lose $100 million? I'm like, whoa.
I don't know how to use
You know,
$100
because they got robbed from this deal or whatever the situation was. Like, it's crazy hearing stories like that, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the second question?
Reggie, what do you need to let go of right now?
What would be one thing I need to let go of right now? When I hear that question, it's one thing that comes to my mind, but I'm not quite sure how to explain it. But it has something to do with my dad.
Your dad?
Or my father.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a personality type inside, a trait that's inside of me, where I'm going to go hard for anybody that I love, nonstop, like real hard, right? So for my dad, like my dad he was a great father. He saved my life, right? Because my mom was on drugs. He had his life together. He finally got his life together. He took me in and changed everything for me. But once I started becoming like successful, right, I helped my dad, right? But it was something that changed inside of him, in which he wasn't the same person no more. And a lot of it had to do with my success and him not necessarily being what he wanted to be. And so I kept trying for 10 years straight. You know, come be around your grandkids, come do this, come do that. And he just would, I'll give you guys an example, but he just was so different, bro. And I just kind of like gave up.
That ain't you.
It ain't me. So,
and I don't even know you, but more than a couple of days, bro. That ain't you.
Right. It's not me. So it's like I gave up in the sense of, bro, you going to have to do something. Like, I'm not about to be the one that come all the way to Virginia all the time, keep trying to get in contact with you. You don't want to talk. You want to meet me in parking lots instead of meet me in a restaurant. Like, you being weird. Like, so I'm going to just, bro, I'm not going to just keep hitting you up, bro. Like, you going to have to do something. That's what I mean as far as getting on. It's just like, but I know that if I am who God really made me, which I am, which is a person that just don't stop, you know, and I fight even if I don't want to, you know what I mean? And I really don't want to. I'm kind of like over it, bro. I'm just like over it. Like,
because you tried, you put so much effort in.
I mean, I'm talking a straight decade straight. And I mean, it's just like, he would come around and every so often, but I mean, he going through a lot of stuff, I believe, internally that, you know, that he's just very spiritual. And then sometimes when people are so spiritual, they just get all messed up. Like, why God ain't doing it for me type. I'm speculating a little, but it's just like, that's a place where, to answer your question, it's just like, bro, I gotta fix that about myself, because if I don't fix it, I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I talked to my wife, well, she mentions it to me. It's like, sometimes you just gotta meet people where they at. And in my head, I'm like, bro, how long I gotta meet this nigga? I've been meeting this dude here for 10 years. Like, I'm like over it. But it's just like I teach my team, how you gonna teach somebody else something that you don't do? So it's like, I just gotta do it, bro. But it's hard.
It's hard as shit.
It's hard.
I deal with
bro.
the same thing with certain aspects of my dad.
Yeah, it's hard, bro. And it's just like, man, God.
I think the biggest struggle I have with my dad is I love the potential of my dad, but I don't love my dad. And that's the thing that breaks me the most, is because I know there's growth. I know there's me, wanting this, and he has changed. And it took me sitting in the fucking furnace, and Chris knows the furnace with my dad. Sitting in the furnace, man, I'm telling you, like, and then hugging him in the furnace, and that changed everything. I hugged my dad in the furnace, and it changed our whole relationship.
I know what you mean.
So I do this thing. I give my dad an 8-second hug, and it changed my whole life. Truly, like Chris can tell you, it's changed him. It's changed me. But my dad's been needing a hug his whole life. He has everything he can ever buy. He can do whatever the fuck he wants when he wants to do it. That little boy's never had a hug. And one day I went and hugged my dad when he was mad, and I bear hugged the shit out of him, screaming, cussing at me, like spitting on me basically. And I hug him, and 6 seconds, 5 seconds in, he starts laughing. He couldn't control it. He's never felt loved and secure and safe. And now my dad like legitimately will ask for his 8-second hug. He started hugging him for 8 seconds. Started hugging my sister for 8 seconds. And you don't know my dad. My dad's a fucking gangster, outlaw, country redneck motherfucker. He don't hug nobody. Okay? It changed the whole dynamic, bro, of our relationship. It like, and it sounds crazy because like I've been getting,
I can see it in your eyes.
I'm getting screamed at my whole fucking life. But for me to sit in the furnace and hug my dad in that process, and I said, hey, I'm not going nowhere. It just finally clicked after 10, 15 years, bro. I've been trying to change my dad for so many years. And it was the hug that did it.
So what would you suggest? Now let me explain my dad a little further.
Well, one, I want to know you, right? Because I think it comes back down to like, say Chris doesn't respond to me for 10 years. Say I'm driving down the road and I think of Chris and I just text him, hey, I love you. I already know he ain't going to text back. He's mad at me. He's upset with me, whatever the case. For me, that's what my heart and my mind and my gut is telling me, love on him. You're a loving person, bro. I already get the vibes of you and Chris and me and everything. Like, loyal and love, bro, is you to a T. It's like, if you love your dad, bro, just, it doesn't have to be go see him or do this. Just love your dad. Love your pops. And just know you're there.
Yeah.
And that's as far as they can get, bro, because it seems like he here's the other thing I've kind of figured out with people. People don't run from Reggie, they run from guilt.
Mm-hmm.
He's not upset with you, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
He's upset with himself.
Right.
And the thing is he sees a version of himself of what he should have been. And that's what hurts him.
That's what hurt him.
So when he sees you, as much as you trying to love him, he's hating himself. And that's got to be difficult, bro. Like, imagine, think about that. Like, jump in his shoes. Like, damn, my son not only replaced me, became a better dad, became a better husband, became successful.
Bro, I literally think about that. And so I'll be having conversations. Like, I don't think the only other person I talked to other than wifey about this was like my blood cousin. He's basically like my brother. When I said people be thinking we brothers, just like y'all, that's what I'm talking about. You know, and it's like I can see that 1,000% because he raised me from 12 to 18 when he told me I had to get out. I was like, damn. And I know that's because my dad was the first person to introduce me to like big houses. Like we live in a little duplex, right? But he showed me how to dream. Like he'd take me down like 10 blocks down the street with a big. At that time, we thought they was mansions, right? You ride past them now, I'm like, man, this is whatever, right? But you go right, you be like, yo, I can't wait to live in a house like this. He the one showed me all of these things, and because that's what he wanted, you know. And I remember one point in his life, he got almost there. He was in the type of house that he would show me, but he wasn't ready for it. But he just took the leap and he just did it. You know what I'm saying? And he was a pastor, and a lot of things in my dad's life ain't work out. A lot of them. And I thought about it the same way you said. It's just like, you know, I remember bringing him to my property in Virginia. I love this damn house, bro. It's like, I love this house. It's in a nice neighborhood, but the further you go back, it gets nicer and nicer and nicer. Right? Yeah. So, and in my career, you can't see it. And you know, I learned a lot about people when they don't know what you own, and then when they come to your house, like they see you in an apartment, they cool, but then when they come to your house, it's not that they mad, it's just like, oh, like that. So when I finally brought my dad there, I was like, man, I don't even want to bring this dude here because I said it to my cousin. My dad was like, I can't wait to show my dad this because he showed me this his whole life. It won't this on a whole nother planet, but he showed me this. He gonna be hyped. Bro, he comes to the crib, he said all the right words because the house dope. Big, sweet crib, on the water, no neighbors, dock, boat, whole deal. Like, wow, right? Sunset, you in the pool, you just looking at the whole bay. My son called it cotton candy. Dad, the cotton candy coming out. Mm-hmm. He said it in front of my dad, and I'm like, he was saying, Reggie, I'm so proud of you, da 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 da. He said all the words. But at that moment is when I noticed a lot of stuff would change, right? And I blessed my dad, helped my dad out. Until you start seeing is like, only time they want to talk is when you want to help them. And just being a human being, you just like, I asked him, I'm like, Dad, why you only communicate when it's time to, when it's some kind of benefit? Oh, no, son, it ain't like that, da, da, da. Then he'll shut down. But showing him when I finally moved to that house, that's when I just started seeing a lot of changes in them. So what you said is more like revelation and confirmation. It is. When I break down, pastors didn't work out. Marriage didn't work out. Relationship with his sons accomplished more. For me, I would like to think, again, put myself in his shoes, but I would like to think that I would say, you know what? That's what I raised.
That's you.
That's me though. So I have
That's a struggle, bro. It's a hard battle because I feel like, my dad, he's a driver. He's a pusher. He wants to see me go. He's never gonna be like. He's told me proud like maybe 3 times my whole life. He's not one of those guys. You know what I mean? But the thing I had to figure out with my dad was, you know how many bombs have gone off in my dad's head that he's never had someone to talk to? Like, our generation talks a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, dude, my dad's been trapped up here and been Mr. Perfect, Mr. Finance, Mr. Everything for so many years. He doesn't even know what it's like to feel safe. And so, like, when I sit on that patio and smoke a cigar, like, my dad gets so emotional now because he's like, it's like all these 40 years of stress and pain that he's never communicated to my mom, to friends, to therapists, bro. Like, now he finally feels safe enough to tell me. Like, you've seen him. Like, he can't even talk.
He got up on stage in front of 30 people and cried.
Just bawled.
Never seen this man cry. Yeah.
Like anything. And it was because he finally felt safe and secure to be vulnerable versus hide it for 40 fucking years. It's intense, bro. Like, we were just like, is that my dad up there right now crying right now? Because, I mean, dude, you go through these phases of hardships for so many years. And, like, I'm going to ask you a question. We will ask everybody this, bro. Reg, when's the last time someone checked on you, bro? Like, really, yo, bro, let's go get a cigar. Let's go on a walk. Let's go to the gym. Reg, how we really doing?
Honestly, I do get that.
Did you always get it?
Always. I always have.
Do you know what it's like not to get it?
I do know what it's like not to get it. I could say I've been blessed to have like certain people in my life that really care about me. And it's probably about 4 people, right? Now,
that's because you're loyal.
Yeah. What I have is certain things that I don't have though. I do have that. But yeah, I do have people that really, and you know what's funny? I don't include him in the 4, but one of them is my true believers. Like, he'll just hit me up. Hey bro, like, you all right? I just want to talk to you, just want to really know if you're okay. It's one of the people that work for me.
That's the thing. Whatever he's given, he secretly needs it.
It said, what you mean?
Whatever he gives, he needs to receive.
Facts.
So those are the kind of guys, those are the check on your strong friends guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because I've studied this and I'm one of those people. Like, I also need that because I check in on, dude, so many people.
You know what's funny though? Sometimes when people ask me, I don't really know how to act. I don't really know how to
receive it. You're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good, bro.
Or
but
I won't even respond.
Think about it.
I don't even know how to respond. I don't a lot of times. And people are like, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, I truthfully, I like look at the text and I don't click on it.
Because it's rare you're going to really say how you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't want to give it to everybody. Yeah.
That's the part. Because I do have 4 people that ask me but it's probably only one of them. Like if it's like I'm not doing okay, I'll be like, bro, this stresses me out of me. This is fucking me up, bro. It is only one out of the four, and all four I'm close to, but and we've learned each other so much. His name is Kobe. Cole, if you see this, you know. And it's like when he be like, "You all right, bro?" And I'll be like, "Nah." He'd be like, "What's good?" But we done been through so many trenches things together, right? But everybody else, I just be like,
All good.
or I just don't really entertain it. Like I don't know why. That's funny. So
I always use surviving. I'm surviving, and people think it's funny, but I'm like, only y'all knew. I explained. We had our business call or our team meeting this morning, and I was like, y'all don't fucking understand what Chris does for y'all. I was like, there's a picture I saw this morning, and it was a woman underwater with her hand sticking out of the water holding the baby up. I was like, y'all don't know what the fuck he does to help you guys fucking stay above water. I was like, y'all need to appreciate it, and y'all need to take responsibilities. And I didn't want you to think that I was making it sound like a pity party, but I think they needed to really fucking hear that today because they need to get their fucking ass in check. Yeah. And sorry, Jace.
No, they did.
Christian, that's the truth. We all need to get our ass in check because they're actually editing this. So.
And if we need to get our ass in check, then y'all let us know.
Yeah, y'all better fucking call us.
No, it's important, bro, that you got to speak to your team like that because I leave the door open for my team to say the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like we'll be having a team meeting, there's 30 of them in there, and I'll be like, all right. Because I'll know if I'm not all the way on top of my game. Yeah, I'll know.
You already know.
Right? So then I open the floor. So what do you guys think I need to do better at? Right? And then, of course, when
they already know what you need to do better.
Right? But, of course, when you the boss, they don't necessarily want to say it. But I'll be like, look, bro, the only way the company grows is if you can talk and explain da-da-da. So, somebody will say, they'll raise their hand. And she'll say something soft, and then I'll speak. But then one of the true believers will be like, bro, like ever since you left, like, bro, like he'll say something small. You don't really, do the same kind of special stuff with us no more. You don't really check on us as much no more. You know what I mean? This part of the department is slightly lacking. The accountability ain't the same. I'll be like, damn.
You needed that.
But you need to hear that, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't have that type of relationship with your team, that's how your business go down the drain.
Yep.
Right. So I be appreciating that.
That's like putting water in a cup with cracks in it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm pouring all this nourishing things in it, but if it's not holding, then it's not.
Yeah. And it just having this conversation is making me like, yeah, because I like what you said. Whatever they give is what they need back. And I learned that, and I do it, but I think I need to do it more because some of the true believers, I don't really talk to all of the people, right? I don't want to talk to all of them. It's like, cause they come and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the main people is like, one of them, his name is Ladarius. Ladarius is like he's like an ultimate soldier, but you got to call and check on him and talk to him and, cause he'll do that for you. He'll let you know, bro, I love you, bro, da 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 da. But he needs that. Adarius, he's a very passionately emotional person. So he gonna, want to talk about your life with you, talk about that. He want to like really get into you and make sure you're okay. So, but do I do that with him as much? No. I need to do that. Like, hey, bro, what's going on with your mom? Because the reason I don't do it as much is because I did it for so long and it's a good foundation, but you still got to water that foundation, right? So if I was to say, what's something that I need to improve with my team is like, when you're not around them, you're not as in touch. So I got to make sure when I leave here, this whole 2 hours, 2 years is going to take me to get back to the crib. I'm going to call them and we're going to chop it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he about to move. He just got him a new crib.
Well, the thing is, you got to have capacity too. And that's the thing I think it's hard as a leadership is just, Chris is at 10% and they see him at 100. And it's like there's got to be grace for the leadership too is, I can't always check in with everybody. And that's the struggle I deal with a lot is just I'm checking in with so many people, but then I'm also filling 100 different cups up with the same amount of water. So I got to spread it really fucking thin and then I'm out of water and then I don't have any. That's the struggle I deal with. But, it's just a check in. It's a voice text, bro. It's all it's really got to be. or certain people go through certain things. But hey, man, let's go get a cigar and just take that quality, intentional time is super important. Like, I'm super excited to get on our personal calls on Wednesday with all the guys. They sent me their calendar invites, so I'm like really excited to check in on them personally and just love on them because they deserve that. Like they do so much for us, and they need to hear a good job, proud of you, keep going.
And sometimes all it takes is one time every so often. Like, I just got an idea. I'm about to, one of my employees, he has a Down syndrome son. I'm about to just send his son some gifts. I'm gonna send it to the store though. His name, he gonna open it.
Surprise him, yeah.
Stuff like that goes a long way. And I used to be so on that. I just got to make sure I keep that because I hate going to a restaurant and it's so good, and then you leave and you come back a year later and that shit is trash. You be like, what happened to y'all?
Yeah, what happened?
And I refuse to be that guy.
You still look like you've eaten it though.
Boy, never turned down a meal.
Boy, big dog, flex on them. There you go, Swole Patrol.
That's funny.
Well, dude, we're gonna wrap it up, man. We appreciate you. This has been probably my favorite podcast, honestly, bro. Like
That's dope, bro.
We've never spent this much time, but this is intentional time that we're super happy with, and very grateful for just the aura, the connection, the handshake, the brotherhood. Having a safe place for men is something that we really want to bring back into the world, and I think sometimes we have to push that energy out. And so I think that's kind of what this is. And Chris, I love you. Proud of you, bro.
I love you too, brother.
The marathon story really hit me, bro. I'm not gonna lie with you. It really impacted me because it's fear, it's discipline, it's dedication. And then, I don't ever see you as a failure. And for you to say you feel like you failed is crazy to me because I see you as a superhero, bro. And I think everybody else does too. And I think sharing that struggle and failure on social media is something that you're just going to have to do today. Hate to tell you, bud, but it's my one ask for you is to get the fuck uncomfortable, okay?
That's fair. Thank you, brother, by the way.
Thank you for your stories, bro, and it's inspiring, bro. And I love the fact of thinking the way of, I love when you're speaking about the Olympics.
Victim
Olympics, bro. Like, run with that. That's, to me, what I think the world needs, bro, is just collect your cards and play your fucking cards.
Play your cards, bro.
And that hit me the most today. So very grateful, bro.
Last thing I'm going to say to you guys, man, like I say, you guys are special. And I feel like, all we missing is 2 or 3 more long talks about some things we've been through. And it's going to seem like we've been with each other 5 years. Because I already feel like I've been like, damn, this is actually our second time actually being together. But it felt like been knowing each other for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
That's alignment, bro.
And that's rare, because you can have good conversations with a lot of people. But that connection and, we can all tell that we felt comfortable enough to really kind of open up about things, and for that to happen on the second meeting, the sky ain't even a limit for our relationship, bro. And I say that with a lot of meaning and honor because I'm very specific with my relationships, just like you guys are. And I just think that's a blessing from God, man, that we met each other at that jet event, and who knows what's gonna happen in the future.
Facts, brother. It's all for a bigger purpose. And
yes,
spaceships don't have rear view mirrors, bro.
I can't say how many 3-hour conversations I've had with people before. I'm usually
Same.
drained at the end of this, but man, I'm fueled up. I'm ready to go pursue some shit right now.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you.
Rocket fuel. But I sit back and I watch you two swole motherfuckers. I look like a little fucking stick compared to y'all.
You cut up, though.
Yeah, he's cut up.
We try, but it's
like
so,
his shoulder was about to pop out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's crazy to me though because I see like quarterback. I see you as like safety, the fucking mad dog in the back that's just fucking. He's ready to fucking smash, and then I got Chris playing utility player where he's quarterback, running back, playing linebacker, and he just knows everything going on. I think I'm probably fullback, just the dumb guy running through the line, just ready to smash heads. But
that's Cody.
Or I would like to be a quarterback probably, but might throw too many interceptions. But it's kind of crazy how you kind of position people, how they do things, and I love chaos theory of the alignment of meeting people when you're supposed to meet them. And bro, we're appreciative.
Love, bro.
So, got to hit another gym session and another podcast soon. At wherever your place is.
Yeah, my shoulder's about to fall off.
Hey, is your one of your stores in Dallas?
So that was the original reason I came here, but God laughs at your plans. So we'll see if I do it or not.
If you do, let me know. We'll do the podcast in the store, bro.
That'd be lit, bro. Because
if
I do it
empty first.
Yeah, if I do it, it's gonna be in North Park, and they, They got some wild, ridiculous rules that I can abide by. For an example, they can move you anywhere in 1 year and you got to repay for your store. That's another conversation.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they can do that. They're one of the most lit malls in the world.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see about that. But I can't wait for the next time, bro.
Well, I have a crazy idea for a shoebox, bro. A store that is a shoebox, but the top actually opens. And you put it in a random location. You don't put it in a store. So people have to travel to the location. I've had this idea for a long time.
Sick.
Imagine an orange Nike shoebox,
That'll be sick.
but the top opens, right? And like it's like Fredericksburg where you have to like go to Prada store.
Yeah.
It's out in the middle of nowhere. And it's like a destination place.
That'll be sick.
And then you film all these celebrities coming in and getting their shoes done.
That'll be sick.
We'll chat, bro. I got all kind of idea. You know me. I'm a
I like
dreamer.
that idea.
But anyway, guys, it's exclusive pod. It's exclusive for a reason. We have amazing people on here, amazing guests, amazing stories. Stay tuned for part 2. And I don't know where we're filming it yet, but Reggie's going to be on there, and he's going to share more life experiences. And, hopefully you guys can listen to him and learn more about life, business, and happiness. So stay tuned.
Go pursue something.